Hey, pre-notification gang. Yeah, maybe Apex tonight. The new CEO was also one of the people that approved the removal of dislike counter. Yeah, and so was Susan. I'm not surprised. A whole team of people had to approve that. It wasn't just one person. You gonna play Wild Heart? Yeah, I'm gonna play it tomorrow. Thanks to resub Samuel and shit my pants. Thanks to resub Jeezy. What's online skating? Oh, inline skating. No. Thanks to resub Thick and Ed. Thanks to 10 gift subs, Catman. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Cat. Yes, I will moist me to the new Ant-Man. I saw it tonight. I actually totally fucking forgot I saw it, I'll be honest with you. Thanks to resub Cat. The bits Mage and Dowland. And the resub Don't Know. And Nigel. Was it any good? We can talk about it in a minute or two. Thanks to resub Scoopy and Potato and Olivio. And they give sub Moto and resub Fiends. Tier 1 Majestic and resub Shoelace. The resub Krith and Bob. We'll talk about Ant-Man in a minute. There's resub Pink. You gonna try Wild Hearts tomorrow? Yeah. I think the tier 1's Serious. And the resub Sinbad and give sub Pigeons. Darth Jar Jar should be official. Oh, I agree. You're preaching to the choir. There's tier 1 Matman. And the resub You All. How come you try Wild Heart but not Monster Hunter? I did try Monster Hunter. It was fine, I just didn't get into it. Wild Hearts is like Monster Hunter meets like Creative Forge. There's the Prime Penguin. The resub Schneege. Give sub Matt. The resub silent. Isn't the replacement for Susan the guy who came up with the new cursing policy? Again, I don't think any of those are ever attributed to one person. Because Susan also approved of that. Jesus, ouch. Here's the resub. Abby, Smallest, Jay, Whitney, and the Tier 1 Battle Gnome. And the resub Galahad. And Chester. Apparently the police chase... what are you talking about? Apparently the police chase guy is aware of you and will try and make a reference to Moist in the next LAPD chase. I highly fucking doubt that. I don't know where that fan theory's coming from. God, I ripped off like a nail over here. Hurts. There's the resub Chester and Kalari and the Prime Wizard. No, like I said, I wouldn't watch that on stream, guy. Gaming tonight? I might do some Apex in a little bit, yeah. Season 16. They got TDM. I'll give it a whirl. Thanks for your sub, Ghosty, Finn, Boar, and Tier 1 homie. You hear about Drake getting blamed for X death? Yeah. I don't know like what evidence they have on him or anything, but I did see that. Thanks to the resub. Dungus. And Yin Yang. And Jack. And the Tier 1 Chef. And the Prime Mental. The new TDM sucks. There's no timer, so the entire team can leave and you'll just be sitting there doing nothing. I did see that complaint. That's actually crazy. That's like one of the most basic features in gaming. I don't know how you overlook that. Thanks a resub. Max C. And the Prime Camaro. And the resub Kevlox. And Joey. Apparently the word zombie was banned on the Last of Us set. That's interesting. I think the Prime Abaria. That's probably some kind of like pretentious artsy shit where it's like we don't use the term zombie here. We're above that. Thanks for resub, Patrick and Guggy. And welcome, Abaria. Being accurate equals pretentious. If you're banning a word which is entirely accurate to what you're portraying anyway, yeah, it's pretentious. I know they're infected, but they're very, very, very similar to zombies. You can interchangeably use them without having to ban the word. Yes, it's pretentious. Is the prime Zosodon, Akira, and Resub Stone, and Cucumber. What do you think of The Last of Us show so far? I think it's amazing. I think it's an outstanding show. Thanks for your sub Silver, Himbliss, and the 5 gift sub Lamont. Have you seen the new Destiny 2 vid doc? Nah, I knew it dropped. I haven't seen it today, though. Yeah, I saw Ant-Man. It was not good. It wasn't nearly as bad as Ant-Man and the Wasp, but overall it just wasn't good. For once, I agree with the Rotten Tomatoes score. I think it has a 54%. Wow, I was about to do Atomic Heart. Actually, hold on. Let me see something else. Let's pull up all of them. Here. So Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually even lower. It's a 49. But the audience score is an 84. Which I wholeheartedly disagree with. And then the other one was a... Oh, they don't have this one up yet. Oh, a 6 on IMDb. Is there a single Marvel movie that's ever had a bad audience score? What did Thor Love and Thunder have? $77, still pretty fucking high, to be fair. Average fans will never let it flop, yeah. It's just not very good. Easy resub fella, Kari, Little Lucky, in the Prime, Tony, Jonesy, and Kimchi, and the gift sub Maddie. Eternals has a low one. Black Widow wasn't an inexcusably bad movie. Tell me what was wrong with the movie. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it wasn't bad. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Without looking it up, can you name 2 characters that weren't the main villains and weren't already the established characters? I bet you can't. Kang was very cool, though. Yeah, I like Kang a lot. He'll just Google it. Well, it's kind of a trick question, because there's actually only one other named character outside of the 2 villains, and he only had his name drop once. It's a completely forgettable, messy plot that everything goes right for. So it never actually has any kind of tension throughout the entire movie. That's just factually wrong, dude. You didn't answer the question. Then name 2, because if there was more than one named character outside of MODOK and Kang, then I must have missed it. Because there's only one that I know. And it was Bill Murray's character. None of the others had an actual credited name. That's wrong. Name them. Quaz and Jantaro. Let's see, who were they? Because they certainly didn't say those names in the movie. So one of them was the mind reader, and the other was... Oh my god, you just looked it up. It's because it's next to on the build list. You had no fucking clue. Also, Jantaro's... That name didn't even come up. You got that name wrong. It was Jintora. Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of, Krylar. He was the only one whose name actually got said outside of Kang and MODOK. I don't know when the fuck they said Quaz and Jintora. I don't know when those names got dropped. So the movie sucks? It doesn't suck, it's just not good. Entertaining, at least. Not really. Like, I liked the visuals. They went really hard on, like, goofy visuals. But, I don't know, it's just really boring. It's a movie where I felt like there was no stakes. Literally everything goes right for the main characters. I can't recall a single time where something went wrong. Aside from the opening act that sends them to the quantum realm. Everything else just goes perfect. Literally perfect. That's every Marvel movie? It's really not, though. Have you read a comic, my lord? That doesn't mean it's good. Even if it follows a comic one-to-one, that still doesn't redeem it from being bad. There's such things as bad comics, like Marvel. Often considered one of the worst comics ever written. So if they followed Marvel one-to-one, it'd still be a shit movie. Did you even watch the movie, Christian? He didn't escape. Okay, I'm not getting into spoilers. Yikes. They even, since I've already kind of said a little something, they even confirm something very important that immediately contradicts you. Lost a lot of respect for you tonight, to be honest. Jesus Christ, the one Ant-Man and the Wasp fan. There is one fucking character whose name got dropped. I don't know when Quaz or Jintora ever got said, unless they said it in passing when he read their mind for the first time, and he might have said like, "Hey, I'm Quaz," and that was it. Jintora, I still don't know when the fuck that name came up. Besides looking it up on Google. I'm sorry you lost so much respect for me because you're a huge Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania fan. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's not very good. It's not awful. It's certainly better than Ant-Man and the Wasp, like, full stop, the second one. But it's still not very good. Just don't lie. I am literally not. You got the name wrong when you proved me wrong, but I'm giving you credit anyway for looking it up. What are you talking about? Lost respect because of a fucking Marvel movie. There was only one other character aside from fucking Kang and MODOK that had a name that they mentioned in a meaningful way. Holy lord. There's no way. Did you work on this film or something? Blame the writers. One person name dropped is wild to say, but it's also accurate. It is just literally accurate. What was the Jello dude's name? Thanks to the resub, Mike. In tier 1, SARS. Now he doesn't type instantly. Yeah, because he literally looked it up. All he's doing is stalling. He's like, I gotta keep going. I've already proven you wrong once. You don't know, because they didn't have any meaningful roles. I'm pretty sure they didn't even say the name, unless it was in the initial meeting in passing. That's why you can't answer me, because they didn't have meaningful fucking roles. They were all throwaways. You looked it up. I don't know why you're trying to lie about you just knowing it. This has to be bait. I took bait. There's no way. I just gave you 2 names, and you're deflecting on what I just asked you to do with telling me the name of the Jello guy. I'm assuming you can't look it up because he's not credited. Let me see. Because otherwise you would have already done that. Yep, because he's not credited. That's why you couldn't find it. The only 2... You got so fucking lucky. The only 2 other credited names were the 2 you named, and you still got one of them wrong. You son of a bitch. That's why. I see. That just isn't correct. I'm literally looking at the cast list right now. The other names are Humanoid, Coffee Parton, and then Jimmy Woo. But he's a reoccurring character, not a new one. And then the one that I gave, which was the Krylar one, because that was Bill Murray's character. And then the other 2 are Quaz and Jintora. All of the other ones are Pilot 1, Nomad, Humanoid, and then Nick Fury. I'm getting into spoilers, sorry. But there is literally only 2 characters. There's 3 characters in total. I gave 1, and you got 2 that were listed, and those are the only other 2. You got so fucking lucky. You have no idea, and you're really having a hard time coming to it. Pilot 1 popped off. Pilot 1 did go pretty hard. Unironically, did go kind of hard. The tier 1 Witch in the Prime Waffle, Tequila in the resub Lady and Hum. And Galdo. And Grizz. Thanks to the Prime Marky. Is Wild Hearts good? I'm excited to try it. Thanks to Prime Dave. And I've watched all of those Parzival. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I'm excited for it. Thanks, Recent Percy. Yeah, I'm of course going to be watching John Wick 4, man. I watch like every new movie. Thanks to Resub, X-Trap. And the Prime, Typoco. You excited for Cocaine Bear? Yeah, maybe. I'm sure it'll be fun. Have you heard about the missing woman in the UK? Happened 20 days ago, and there's loads of conspiracies. There's like a million missing people everywhere. That's kind of vague. Have you seen the new Instagram update? No. I haven't been on Instagram in months. Thanks to the Bits Whiskey. There's a bridge. Thanks to Resub Digital. And Crazy. So planning on watching Blood and Honey. Oh, when does that come out? I forgot about that. Oh, it came out yesterday. Yeah, maybe. Thanks to the resub. Poison. And Ploso. Apparently bad, not fun bad for Blood and Honey. I mean, it looked like pretty low effort. I mean, I'll still give it a try, probably. It's a prime bedtime. And the Bits Woods in the resub. Agadina and Ray. And Bobby. And the resub Kachow. And Grumpy. And Terrell. Yeah, 65's that Adam Driver dinosaur movie. It's the prime Vantamon. Biden said the latter 3 objects shot down weren't from China. Yeah, and they also said they can't recover it or something, which is a load of baloney. I don't know how the fuck they couldn't recover it. They shot the shit down. I don't know what makes it so hard to recover. Oh. Thanks to the gift sub, Jimmy. Yeah, Dark and Darker was great. And Good Luck Mood. You gonna watch Air, the Nike movie? No, it seems pretty boring. I don't think I'll watch that one. What's the plan tonight? Shoot the shit, then play some Apex probably. Try out TDM. Do you keep up with the Chris Chan documentary? I haven't in a while, but I've seen most of it. And the Resub Architect. No, they have like actual TDM now, but most people are saying it's not very good. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Hopefully it's good though. Thanks for some PW. I don't think the movie was awful, it just wasn't very good. It's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp though. Thanks the resub stove. The resub Carter. And thanks the resub Hamster. And Acro and Prime Justin. A Discord bot scammed 3 million from investors today. These new 11 Discord scams. Scammer steals 150k of crypto. Don't say anything about a Discord bot stealing 3 mil. Here's the bits, Alvin. Marvel has fallen so hard. Nah, they still print money. Thanks for 5 gift subs, Kev, and the resub smiling. Marvel still makes tons and tons of money. And the merch does? No, the movies do too. Superhero fatigue isn't taking too huge of a toll. Well, no, the reason why a lot of the visuals suck is because they overwork the VFX department. Pump out like 1,000 shows. CGI gets worse and worse and worse. Fucking like 6 movies a year or whatever, and like they're just overwhelming all of their VFX crew. It's not a mystery why it's been like looking worse. Ooh. Jesus Christ, camp. Holy fuck. Hope you had a good day, man. Good to see you again tonight. Thank you for the fat drop. And the reset ace. And yeah, sorry about that, Jay. And thanks to the resub Ray. God damn. Thank you, camp. The Discord bot is me6. Me's $3 million Discord NFT scam. Discord should ban me6 already. Damn, this has been like known for a minute. This channel's covered it 3 times. 4 times? Wow. Me6 completely screwed over its NFT holders. If you bought an NFT in 2023, you deserve it. Like, just straight up. Jesus Christ.
Me6, the most popular Discord bot, just scammed their NFT community for almost $3 million by selling them lies and stopping development. Now, in the NFT community, this is known as a soft rug, and basically it's just when the team promises a whole bunch of stuff and they fail to deliver it. And prices of the Me6 Genesis Pass NFT are being absolutely obliterated. Now, if you don't know, Me6 is the most popular Discord bot on the platform, and they started to focus on NFTs in January 2022, and it really did piss off the community, but Me6 Mi6 went ahead because they had one goal, that sweet, succulent cheddar. Now, to
That
get
sounds
that money,
about right.
Mi6 had to sell people an NFT. But this NFT was going to be something completely different, just like every other NFT. Invest in communities and creators with our first NFT drop, and Mi6 pulled out all the stops to make you buy the stupid thing. They said they were reputable.
Because we're a real company and not just like a NFT project.
We are a real company behind the project. We have Mi6, which is a very popular tool today.
And this NFT promised a token.
Nothing is more trustworthy than them saying that they're trustworthy, honestly. NFTs ripe with scammers and bad actors, all kinds of shady figures. It's nice and refreshing to see some come forward and say, hey, we're not scammers, we're not shady, we are real, and we are trustworthy. That's always what's most important, to be honest. There's the resub motive red and the gift sub posterized. We're a real project. Yep. Goddamn right. And that's all it takes.
Community platform that allowed people to make and trade their own tokens and use a decentralized exchange. And that exchange ran on the Mi6 token. Now, every transaction on this decentralized exchange would have a little bit of a fee. Now, that fee would actually get distributed amongst everyone that had Mi6 tokens. And to get those Mi6 tokens, you would have to buy this NFT.
What we're really selling is not art, it's Mi6 token. The Mi6 token, though, is and will be super valuable.
And since these tokens were going to be valuable, people wanted
More
more,
valuable than
and
gold.
Mi6 was not wanting to disappoint.
As a reminder, everybody who buys into the Mi6 Avatars drop will get a free airdrop of Mi6 tokens. So we'll create a fixed amount of Mi6 tokens. We want to do a pretty big chunk in terms of percentage of that pool of token and give it out to the NFT holders. So that exact percentage is not something we're set on yet. What I can say is that it's going to be a sizable part of the pool of the 100% of the Mi6 token.
And just
That's such a good idea. They really are doing it different. My God. And see how their Twitter's doing after all this. Just a random Discord bot turned NFT. They haven't tweeted since January 10th. That's so weird. Man, I can't believe that happened. Yep, January 10th is when they cut contact, but they kept the Twitter up just in case. He's the prime cat. Mi6 is huge. I'm shocked they do this. Why? I'm not shocked at all. It's because they're huge that they would do this, because they knew it would be successful. I mean, at the end of the day, they made the Discord bot. A lot of people used it, so it's a name they trusted. And for some reason, even though they were originally upset about it being NFTs for Mi6, they still bought in. That's on them. That is just absolutely reckless stupidity. I don't know why you'd buy an NFT from fucking Discord bot. Looking forward to the CoffeeZilla video on this. I don't know if he will. This feels like something that's below his pedigree at this point. He tackles like huge bad actors, not like blatantly obvious scams like Mi6 NFT. There's resub Seth and Pix and Killy.
to really drive the sales home, Mi6 was talking about potentially putting this Mi6 token into crypto exchange.
Maybe at some point you'll educate yourself on crypto and stop looking at pump and dump scams. Maybe at some point you'll stop losing money on crypto pump and dump scams. Like, almost every single one of them in the space currently is a pump and dump scam. That is the entire landscape. I've said from the beginning, I think there's real merit to the technology. But you know what's happened? I'm sure you know. It's used for nothing but scams right now. It has been for the last year. Longer than a year, really. Every single one of them, pretty much. There's the resub Seth, Elusa, and Doc. But there's basically no merit to the tech either. I disagree with that. I think there actually is real merit to just having like this immutable ledger so you can always track things down. Like that's how CoffeeZilla is able to get so much information by just being able to track everything through the fucking blockchain, which is a word that's become so filthy now. If you say blockchain, people immediately just write you off as a fucking idiot. But the actual idea behind it I think is pretty usable in the future for things that aren't scam related. But that's all it's used for right now pretty much. So thanks to tier 1 Tommy and the bits Swavy.
Changes in the distant future.
If you're talking about the Mi6 token, we're in discussions with some exchanges. We've actually had early talks with Binance not so long ago.
Now just keep in mind that these quotes are directly from the Mi6 founders themselves. They do AMAs, and I, of course, have all the backups of them, and I watched almost every single one and wanted to scoop my eyeballs out. Mi6 was promising a lot of stuff, and with their success as the largest Discord bot, people were on board, and it's time to sell this damn thing. So Mi6 releases an announcement that they are minting the NFTs on March 8th, and demand is going to be sky high. So what they did is they bumped it from 8,888 tokens to 10,000. People are rushing in, and they want this NFT. And Mi6 decided to blue ball everyone by delaying the mint for 1 week.
The reason for that is that, we are seeing a lot of new faces joining, and we want to make sure everybody can, get on board.
Now, if it isn't obvious, Mi6 is just stalling to try and maximize sales by generating more and more hype.
When we released the Mi6 token, so Q2 2022, with the first airdrop, we're very confident in the fact that we're going to sell out.
At this point, I'm completely
probably
sold. This
true.
will be amazing. It sounds like a wonderful investment. Things are looking fantastic. Now, as the day of the mint is approaching, another announcement gets dropped. They're lowering the whitelist pre-sale price to 0.18 Ethereum. They're making it cheaper for the people that get in early. And the public sale will be in a form of a Dutch auction. Now, if you don't know what a Dutch auction is, let me just tell you what Mi6 thinks of it.
The thing is that it's hard to set a price that's fair. I know there's a lot of guesswork into defining the price for the public sale, and the Dutch auction is actually a fairer way to define that price, which is basically let the market decide.
Now let me tell you about what a Dutch auction actually is. It's kind of like the opposite of a bidding war. You start the price extremely high, and you slowly lower the price until people start to buy it. And what this does is it feeds on your fear of missing out. You do not want to miss out on this NFT, so you're just going to buy the NFT, and it's probably above a price that you would actually pay if you did a normal bidding system. And all of this is just to maximize the amount of money that Mi6 gets from these NFT sales. And that's not the end of the announcement, because they're pushing the mint date to March 24th to get even more people to buy our NFT. It is the day before the mint, and hype is at a super critical moment, and Mi6 founders are playing it off on their AMAs trying to sell this NFT, baby.
The profile picture and the art is kind of secondary. It's actually totally secondary to the drop, and what you really get is the free airdrop of Mi6 tokens. The Mi6 token, though, is and will be super valuable.
The more you have Mi6 NFTs, and the more you get Mi6 tokens. But about the Mi6 tokens, what makes it exclusive is definitely that you get it for a cheaper price from what it will be in the future, and that price is actually zero because you already bought the NFT avatar.
Now this AMA...
Who the fuck cares? Is there any new NFTs going on right now? Any new NFT scams? Because this was 2022, right? So March 2022. This is an older scam. Do people still try NFT scams? I haven't seen one in quite some time. Aside from Dylan Dennis, but Dylan Dennis honestly can't even read, so I'm not surprised. Still 40 new NFT scams every day. But who's still buying it? Even all of the crypto bro hype beasts have died. They've lost too much money to even be able to afford Twitter Blue to keep peddling it. I don't see anyone even talk about NFTs anymore. Logan Paul. Well, even his was kind of old. I'm talking in 2023, brand new NFT, huge community, obvious pump and dump. I don't even see anyone try anymore. Oh, true, Square Enix. Holy fuck, I totally forgot. Square Enix is absolutely hell-bent on bringing NFTs to their games. Oh my god, yeah. So they're launching an NFT game on Polygon pretty soon. Ugh. I totally forgot. Hey, J-Mac. Oh, it's not even a game. It's a collectible art project. Calling it a game was too much credit. Damn, that's hype. I'm feeling bullish on symbiogenesis. I'll tell you right now. Thanks, Arisa, Blame, and Sean, and Grifford. And the Bits, Panda. Good to see you. Oh, that's interesting. Panda, I don't know about that. Sounds like a good way of getting hurt. And thanks to the resub loan and power. Bitcoin going to 100k, right? Any day now, yeah. This is the big tier 2 flames. Appreciate it, man. Let's do a Netflix stock crash watch party. Well, it's not crashing yet. It won't fully, like, start tanking till they implement the password sharing protocol in the US. He's a tier 1 psychedelic. That's when it's really probably going to take a huge hit. I just can't imagine anyone bothering to pay for it once they're kicked off. I really can't. He's a tier 1 scuff. The Prime Toaster. Did they say they'll launch it in the US? It is coming, yeah. We just don't know what form of it. So the one that they just brought to Canada, Portugal, Spain, and New Zealand, that one's a little different than the one they were testing in Latin American countries. So we still don't know what it's going to look like when they bring that here. Is the resub come Avery, Boner, and Freaky in Mint? I like how they just disrespected Canada like that. Yeah, people are really pissed about that. I mean, rightfully so. Thanks, resub Smoke. And the Prime Yolordo. Yeah, it's not everyone in Canada. I think it's only one area, if I can remember. Or, is it one or multiple? I don't remember. I don't think it's all of Canada yet, though. These are so posterized. Have you heard about the new Tetris movie? Mm-mm. Can't say I have. He's a prime olive. Don't understand you saying they have bad originals. Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, Daredevil, Inside Job. They have no good originals coming out soon, though. So you listed, how many is that? 4? You've listed 4 good originals. Do you know how many originals they have in total? That's 4 out of like fucking 400. They actually just throw everything at the wall, all kinds of shit, and hope a couple of it sticks. It's a quantity, not quality play. They do have bangers, 100%. I like Stranger Things. I like pretty much everything you listed there, though I never got into Daredevil. But, like, they have bangers. But for every banger, there's 15 stinkers. Looks like it's posterized in the prime blank. Yeah, was talking about that earlier, Kyloran. 15, it's more than that. I mean, it probably is, man. They have so many of their originals that you don't even know exist because Netflix themselves don't even promote them. So what the fuck is the point in putting money into them? I don't get it. I really don't. Thanks, Resub Abigail. At least they're making content, not regurgitating much. But their best content is like the content that's not theirs, like Breaking Bad, shit like that. The things that people are like actually using Netflix for, I feel like are things they could just get elsewhere, like Breaking Bad. The originals, while they do have a couple good ones for sure, it's not like it's constant new ones that are good. It's, hey, we just got Stranger Things, the new season was hype, and now I get Bruise Brothers season 2. It's like, what the fuck? Is there resub wavy in the prime razzle? True, they also do cancel good shows after like a season. They do have a habit of doing that. They even lost access to their own Arrested Development series recently. Did they? I didn't even know that. Thanks, resub doodle. And yeah, I have been watching the new Vinland Saga. I like it. Thanks, Prime Benadryl. I don't like it as much as the first season though. They lose so much money by dropping all episodes of Stranger Things on the same day, but I like it. Well, they didn't do that this time around. They did kind of space it out. But yeah, I hate the binge model. I think it's stupid. I think it was cool in the beginning. It was a cool novelty, a fun new way of experiencing content, but I'm so tired of the binge model. True. Well, some of them just finished though, Jay, to be fair. And yeah, I have Goblin. If I plan on tossing it over to him after stream tonight. Thanks, Resub Gator. Summits, I still can't stand the way Summits run for the nomination stuff. It's so stressful for no reason. Thanks, Resub Gator in the prime, Zach. Aaron's campaigning for Summit. So that's the nomination stage, that's the voting stage, that's fucking everything. It's such a headache. It's such a headache. Netflix added 891 Netflix originals in 2022. What the fuck? Wait, what? No. So that's just total, like, Netflix exclusive content. That's not going to be, like, all originals, right? There's no way they put money into all 891. There's no shot. Oh, that's a really good point. I didn't consider that. There are actual, like, exclusives to, like, Asia and other countries and things like that. That's a good point. Oh, maybe. Wow, wait, that could actually be accurate then. Oh, I didn't consider that. Damn, that is even worse than I thought. 891 originals last year, and, like, shit. The only one I can think of off the top of my head that was good is Stranger Things, the newest season. Holy shit, that's awful. Holy shit, that's so bad. Squid Game was 2 years ago. Damn, that's wild. Thanks for some sketchy daddy in the Prime Mox. Squid Game was 2 years ago. Yep. It was 2 years ago. That was a 2021 show, not a 2022 show. Oh, Edge Runners was last year. Yeah, two. Edge Runners and Stranger Things. Out of 891. Arcane wasn't last year either. Arcane was 2021. I'm pretty sure that was fall of 2021, right? Let me double check. November 6th, 2021. Why don't you guys just look these things up before saying them? Jesus Christ. Dahmer. I didn't watch Dahmer. But I'll just say, yeah, Dahmer got a lot of hype. Maybe it was good. Let's say every single one of them you're naming is good. That's still less than 10 out of 891. It's a tier 1 signal. I know, that was another thing, Jay. They're very bad about that, thanks to the resub pup. You see that Elon Musk is appearing all the time on the For You page, and then they discovered Twitter engineers actually boosted Elon's tweets because he wasn't happy with the Super Bowl. Yeah. I thought that was just a conspiracy, like just fake news. But anytime I open Twitter over the last 3 days, it is nothing but Elon's fucking replies to, like, everyone. It's nothing but Elon. So it's, like, actually true, it seems. Which is really sad. Or it's just a really unfortunate glitch and they came up with a narrative that almost makes sense. Because anytime I open Twitter, all I see is his fucking tweets. Every single post, every single reply. It's his website. Yeah, and he's literally gamifying it. Like, what do you mean? This whole thing was about, like, freedom of speech and shit. Everyone on, like, an even playing field, giving power to the people. You can all have blue check marks. And then he's promoting every single one of his tweets above all of the plebeians. That's completely counterintuitive to his overall mission, or the mission he claims to have. Block him? No, I'm not like even really complaining about it. I'm just surprised that it's real. That he actually did algo boost all of his shit. How do you believe this shit? Open Twitter right now. That's how I believe it, because his tweets are all over my fucking timeline when I never got them before. What do you mean? It's very clearly different. Something has changed over the last 4 days. I see every single one of his fucking replies. He'll reply to an account with 8 followers, and I will see it on my For You page, on my fucking front page timeline. I see everything from him. So obviously something changed. I don't even really see the point. They're just little fucking imaginary numbers on Twitter from people that I don't even think are actually real in the real world. I don't know why he needs that validation so much, if that really is what happened. Didn't he literally admit to it with the milk tweet? I mean, you can absolutely make an argument that that was him leaning into it. And it's a very strong argument to make. I guess I'll pull up the tweet. This was after the whole thing about the boosting all of his tweets so he could get more likes from the Twitter employees came out. He posted this. It's a little risky to bring up on Twitch, but it's not like nudity or anything. But he posted this, which seems to be him leaning into it like, yep, I'm now feeding all of you all of my tweets. And I believe it, 100%. Like I said, anytime I open Twitter, like the first 8 or 9 tweets are all Elon Musk, and half of them are fucking replies to people I've never heard of in my life. Which is such a worthless thing to do. Like, who the fuck cares? There's a baby and Snake, and the 2 give subs Busty. And the resub offline. Also harmless. I mean, it is harmless. It's just his tweets fucking suck. And it's like my entire fucking timeline and the first 8 or 9 tweets or whatever are all him. So then I immediately hop on and see his fucking cringe. I don't even think I still follow him. Let me see. Do I still follow him? I do. But even still, everyone I follow, I don't see every one of their replies to every single account ever. And it's certainly not like the entire first page. There's your answer. It's not my answer, though. I don't see that for anyone else. You know who else I follow? All of my friends. And I don't get that from them. And I never got this from Elon either until the last 3 days. There's resub fungi. There's the Prime Samurai. The resub Wes and Nathan. And they give some astronaut. I mean, yeah, it is harmless. But if all of the Twitter employee leaks are accurate, that he really did change the algorithm to boost his tweets, who's to say he wouldn't do it again to silence people that don't like him, right? That was one of the huge things people were really upset about Twitter, really upset at Twitter for before Elon took over, and now he is literally doing that in the opposite way to promote himself. I don't understand why people can't see that. That's assuming all the Twitter employee leaks are accurate, though, about what's actually going on with that new system. Thanks to resub Nex and Doggy. Thanks to resub Kyo. It's not that deep. If you don't like it, don't use Twitter. What are these takes, man? I guarantee if it wasn't Elon Musk, you would be very upset about that. My voice is being silenced. This guy is clearly manipulating the algorithm or manipulating tweets. This is unjust. But since it's goofy meme guy, it's fine. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I don't really care about Twitter that much. I think it's a pretty a pretty big shithole of a platform. But I mean, it's pretty hypocritical to make a big stink that Twitter used to do it, and now he is blatantly doing it, and now it's okay because he makes goofy memes. Is the resub hoops? I know, isn't that wild, Jay? Half of that shit just doesn't pop up anymore. Thanks to the gift sub Swampy. Thanks to the Prime, that one. Diehard Defenders for no reason. I mean, again, it's still assuming all of the Twitter employee leaks are accurate, that he actually is gamifying it and promoting his own tweets in the algorithm, which it really does seem like he's doing. I've never seen this happen before, and it never happened until the last 3 days, where it's only inundated with Elon tweets on my fucking timeline. But I guarantee all of the meat writers for Musk would be very upset if Joe Biden paid for that same service and Joe Biden's, every single one of his fucking stupid tweets started popping up on your timeline unprompted like that. If it was someone you didn't like doing it, you'd be very upset. Everyone should get the same treatment. But that was like the whole thing that he lobbied on. Thanks to the resub hard dick. That was like his whole big power play. Everyone will be treated equal. So if all the employee leaks are accurate, that was a lie. Thanks a bits, Kyo. Oh no, he lied. The world is ending. What are these takes? Why do I even bother reading something like that? Like, oh no, he lied. The world is ending. Like, how old does someone have to be to say that? He's not lying. And if he is lying, it doesn't matter, it's not important. Okay, so he lied, so what? The world's not ending. Like, okay, so no matter what happens, you don't care. Like, that's fine, I guess. He's the prime drum. Thanks the resub Luke. And the resub Steven. Have a job at a news station. I have to hear about him all the time. Yeah, that sounds about right. These are the bits Wes. And the prime Murakoi. And the resub Caleb. Thanks the resub Sway. Was that noise? Oh, it was me playing with something. Thanks to Resub Astro. Am I excited for Sons of the Forest? No, I'm not a big fan of survival games. I'm gonna try it, but I'm very confident that I probably won't like it. But I'll give it a whirl, see if I am pleasantly surprised. What do you think about Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I just don't give a fuck. Like, it just seems like standard superhero shit. I just don't care. I'll watch it. Hopefully it's good. Not expecting much. Thanks to Resub Erebor. And the bits Wes. All good, hope it's going well. And thanks to the bits Stiffy. What's your ETA on kick to stay up before Stake sees it's not worth it? I don't know, man. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'm not preying on its downfall. Competition's always a great thing. More players in the streaming space is good for all platforms. Good for Twitch, good for YouTube. So I don't want it to fail, but my god, it is so shady. Like, they have got to fix so many things right now for it to actually be a viable platform. And then Aiden Ross, oh my god, I saw the Aiden Ross clip where he's like, I need more money. Kick needs to pay me more money. Like, I mean, I guess it's smart from Aiden Ross to squeeze as much juice out of the lemon as he can here, but it's just not in a good spot as a platform, really. Thanks for the resub, DJ. Didn't they say they gave him 150 mil? Yep, that was the claim. It was apparently a $150 million deal, allegedly. Don't know how accurate that is, but I guess it wasn't enough for Aiden, if that is accurate. Which is wild. I mean, again, smart from him to get as much money out of as he can while they're still around. There's a bitch butter. What? No, that's a Darman video you're thinking of, Butter. Thanks for the resub, Cammy. If Kick offered you 150 mil for 2 years like Aiden, would you do it? That's a 2 mil. That's a 2 year, $150 million vacation. But I don't know. It's owned by Stake, so I'd have to really think hard on it. I don't think I would. But I guess it's easy to say since I've never seen money like that, or even imagined money like that. So I guess maybe I'd feel differently if that fucking contract came in to look at. But I just can't imagine a number that would actually make me be okay with the gambling promotion out the wazoo. There's just that stat that always sticks with me with the people that commit suicide because of gambling addiction. That one's just such a fucking insidious one. That one's fucking brutal. There's the bits, Megan. And the resub, Kelt. Yeah, I didn't like it very much, Megan. And the resub, Woozy. And the resub, Deso. Oh, it's not Megan. Sorry, I thought that was an N. Mega. Sorry. Mega Man. What? Oh, it's Mega Man. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Sorry, the lowercase threw me off. Thanks for resub, Sketchy. You hear Chat GPT spawning alter egos now? I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Yeah, I'm gonna play Wild Heart tomorrow. You see the new YouTube CEO is the NFT crypto guy. Again, man, I just don't know if he's like solely responsible. There's a whole team of people that have to okay ideas. An entire team. We'll see though. He very well could be absolute garbage. I think he could be terrible. Very possible. But I won't hold the decisions made from his team against him at the moment. Yeah, I know Jordy's put up the video pretty recently. I think it was yesterday. I haven't checked it out yet. Next to the bits, beaches. Thanks to the raid, Bucko. Hope you had a good stream. Does Snoop Dogg still stream? Let's see. Wasn't there a channel that... Okay, I'll just do it on Twitch. I thought for sure there was a channel that still dumped his VODs. I was gonna just go by the date of the last VOD. When the fuck was the when was the last stream? I'm gonna go with no. I can't even find the last stream. So it looks like they... I just checked Discord. So it looks like they changed the summit voting for Smash. So it's $5 for the votes, and you can't spirit bomb it to break that meta. That's a good change, I guess. I still don't like it though. The whole process. And I haven't played MTG Arena in a little while, actually. Thanks to Tier 1 Brookie. That sounds low-key worse. That does sound worse. So how does it work, then? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Why no Spirit Bomb? Because that shit sucks. That was a bunch of absolute garbage. So Aaron's in... Here, I'll bring it down. Aaron's in 4th right now. How does the voting work then? $5 voting pass purchase is 100 votes. $1 in the shop is 2 votes. And 30 or more to get 100. This is the exact same. Isn't it? It feels exactly the same. But yeah, if you have any votes for whatever reason on Start GG, use them on Aaron. He's lobbying for, or campaigning for Summit. Thanks, Arisa Mikayu. Order 10,000 shirts. One day I'm gonna make a big stink about that. Oh, gotcha, Dylan. Okay. Hey, Aaron. No, I'll just let you do it on your stream. It'll probably be easier then. Because I am still very... It seems very much the same. It's just instead of stockpiling, it just gets spread out. But can't you just do that for like multiple accounts? Thanks for some Fox and Taz. Is it Prime Carkle? Technically, you can exploit it with multiple accounts. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But you don't even need like to make puppet accounts. You can actually just send money to your friends and have them do it, and you could still do a fat fucking spirit bomb. Thanks to Prime Gibby and the resub Dasho. Checked tracking site. Snoop Dogg's last stream was under an hour on December 29th of 2022. He's still active, baby. He's still on the grind. And in fact, look at this. Here's the top 20 best moments.
welcome back to a brand new video. If you do go on to enjoy today's video and want more content like this, then feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get right into it. Wow, okay, Snoop is pretty damn good at roleplay. I know he's done work in improv and performance in the
He's
past,
good at
but-
roleplay?
Greetings. Is there anyone on the line? Anyone on the line? Greetings. The name is Cr1tikal.
I didn't know he ever streamed anything besides Madden.
Madden makes
I can
Snoop
hardly
very
hear him.
angry.
Hype. Well, I am gonna watch the Jordy's video. I just don't think I'll watch it on stream. Snoop plays COD? Really? I've never seen a COD stream from him. I've only ever seen the Madden. Ever. Exhibit's lucky. No, Snoop Dogg's part of FaZe Clan. Can't you tell? He does so much with FaZe. Have you seen the new movie called Tetris? I thought it was called Tetris, not Tetras. No, I was just planning on watching it on my own. And yeah, we're still grinding World First Race for Destiny. Note, clubs in NSW have written to the court seeking to withdraw the criminal charge against Jordan and agreed to pay the cost. I'm assuming that's an addendum to this, like this probably happened after this came out. Danny must have fucked him up.
This was firebombed.
A fiery message that's hard to miss.
Police are tonight hunting an arsonist who targeted the home of controversial Friendly Geordies YouTube blogger Jordan Shanks. It's the second time the property has been firebombed in a week.
Obviously, we've done some extremely
Wasn't the same
dangerous
property
reporting
twice.
over the last year, I suppose, of a bunch of extremely powerful people and corporations. There is many people that would want to do that.
No one has the record that he has for doing some hard-hitting journalism, and this is his payday. Someone's trying to kill him.
In what I now know was a premeditated attack, that at best was intended to terrify me and at worst was intended to kill me.
I would say it was probably intended to kill you. Like, throwing a firebomb at the house and actually setting the house on fire is less of like an intimidation tactic and more of an attempted murder, I would say. But I feel like in his position, he's got to be very careful with the words he chooses because he's constantly in the crosshairs of every single authority in Australia because he exposes so much corruption. But yeah, this is very much a step above an intimidation tactic. An intimidation tactic is if you had like someone come to your house dressed as a construction worker, but then it was actually a lawyer serving you like a fucking lawsuit. That's an intimidation tactic. This is some like hitman shit. Thanks, the resub waffle.
But the firebombers, they forgot to take one thing into account. I'm very disorganised. The night that happened, I was supposed to be sleeping here. I don't even have smoke alarms. So there's a very good chance that if I was, I could have ended up like the content you're watching right now. Fire. But I wasn't here because that week I was performing my live show in Melbourne and I forgot my keys while I was down there. So there, criminals outwitted. It reminds me of that quote.
He's
if we
2
don't
steps
know what we're
ahead.
Doing, then the enemy certainly can't anticipate our future actions. So I was sleeping somewhere else that night.
That's such a beautiful line too. That's always the cliche on how they beat like an overpowered villain in an anime or some shit who can see into the future. We'll have no plan and we'll wing it. Unpredictability is our best friend.
With the firebombers' mums. But I will admit, the firebombers did succeed in terrifying me, and I've spent the last couple of months doing 2 things apart from the firebombers' mums. That's hiding and ruminating. This video is a culmination of that rumination. This is an explanation of who could have possibly have done this to such a small, relatively unknown Australian YouTuber. And hey, if that sounds too dry, well, you kids like Knives Out or whatever, stick around. It's a pretty interesting whodunit.
I do like Knives Out. Unfortunately, I think I got a bit of a spoiler in the description. I think we know who the culprit is, but maybe you didn't see the description, so I won't spoil it. All right. We'll keep it a mystery. We'll keep it all intact here.
Sorry, we're going to have to film the rest here
Some
because
samurai.
the asbestos was getting to us. Just in case you didn't know, I'm Australian. I'm from the great state of New South Wales, home to over 8 million people. And compared to other Australian states, New South Wales is a particularly dirty place. We're the gambling capital of the world, we're the cocaine capital of the world, and not in a cool El Chapo way either. We just have a lot of coke users here, the highest per capita of
Nice.
anywhere, actually.
That's pretty cool.
For this story, it's important to understand that New South Wales is a state that was created by criminals, and let's be honest, we really have stuck to our roots. During the early stages of our colony, our de facto currency was rum. When an English governor was sent here to attempt to raid it in, we cooed him. Look at him hiding under the bed like he's me. Coward! That's our first political cartoon, by the way. Throughout the 20th century, our police force, political class,
That's
and
hardcore.
the underworld had a rich culture of working hand in hand to maximize each other's hustle. And let's be honest, despite numerous inquiries uncovering the extent of corruption and criminal penetration into the institutions of New South Wales, nothing has really shocked the system into radically cleaning up its act. On a completely unrelated note, let me introduce you to the former Deputy Premier of New South Wales, John Barilaro. He's been the topic of many of my past videos. And look, just to be clear, I'm not alleging anything here, and it is too big of a jump to go from beating a cameraman in public to firebombing a house.
That is a big jump, but you're also giving him a lot of credit here with beating a cameraman. This cameraman is fending off this overgrown baby with ease. Like, this is pretty sad for John Barilaro here. He is, it's like that, like an older brother putting their hand on the head of the younger brother as he's throwing punches that are missing. And he's holding like a 30-pound camera on his shoulder.
Cameraman in public to firebombing a house. So obviously I'm not saying he did it, but he did do this. Wailed on a cameraman. We'll get to that in a second, but first,
not really
you're
wailed.
going to
He
have
got
to endure an
embarrassed, it
extremely
seems.
bizarre twisting tale. For the new viewers, here's how I made an enemy of basically every
Exit
powerful
01 Mitchell,
person in the
the resub
state.
Bud
John
and Tubbs.
Barilaro was the equivalent of a lieutenant governor. He was the deputy premier of New South Wales from 2016 to 2021 until he quit,
Resub
blaming
Lucifer.
my cyberbullying. How do we get to the point where the most powerful man in the most powerful state in Australia claims that he's decided to resign because of a YouTube beef?
That's fucking hype,
It kind
though.
of
That's
begins
so
with videos
nice.
I was making about
Nice.
the insane land clearing rates in New South Wales because of the actions of John Barilaro's government. Led by Premier Gladys Berejiklian, we had an increase in land clearing rates by over 1,300%, making Australia the only developed nation having a global deforestation hotspot next to its name, and putting koalas on track for extinction by 2050. So repeatedly, I called Premier Gladys Berejiklian koala killer
rough.
over this. In mid-2020, I also interviewed the opposition leader Jody McKay, where we discussed the government's appalling record. John Barilaro takes issue with this interview and the nickname and decides to white knight for his boss on radio.
And I've seen some of these banners online or physically where, you know, they call Gladys the koala killer.
Obviously, I found that very amusing and did a video that included this impression.
Oh, what the f***? She's never even personally killed one koala. koala. The one she backed over was an accident, bruh. I'm like, what'd you call a koala killer? What the f***'s the body? Seen a koala? Where's the f***ing DNA evidence, bruh?
So this guy really is
this
just
day
actually
one of the
tuned into
classics.
every YouTuber
Everyone
that
bought him.
criticizes
We got
him.
calls from sources in New South Wales.
He actually might have quit
claiming
because
that
he
John
got bullied.
Barilaro was very shitty at that video, huffing and puffing, claiming that the impression was racist. I remember this happening because I couldn't believe how stupid the claim was. We were all thinking, no way is he going to publicly say something about this. And then this article came out. YouTube comedian in racist low blow towards Premier. He responded by planting a story in the newspaper that alleged because I did an impression of him, I was racist against Italians and the migrant success story. This is the same paper that posted this cartoon a few months later. Gladys, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. So inaccurate, there is no way he'd be that tactful in his threat. This is what it actually read. Yeah, I'm threatening you, dickhead. I don't give a f that this is an open line. We couldn't believe it. I think the team and I were in Goldman Subway when we first read it. We were pissing ourselves. John Barilaro was a man who built a career railing against political correctness, and now he was in an article taking issue with me doing an impression of him, and specifically annoyed by the inclusion of the word bruz. That's Australian slang for brother/cousin, usually used by utter legends. The most ironic part of that article is that my family are migrants from a place that less than 100 years ago was part of Italy. John didn't even bother checking that before throwing out his sob story. So we thought, a whiny, sensitive, fat Italian man, who also happens to be the most powerful man in the state. Content gold, HBO understood that 20 years ago. So obviously we came up with a bunch of stupid nicknames and animations about him, including the classic Super Barilaro Braz.
I can't believe we're at a point where actual politicians care about YouTube beef. That's wild.
The countless development and logging proposals in koala habitat, starving them, fast-forwarding their extinction clock, and didn't make any effort at all in an attempt to save their populations. All with the help of my good friend, yay! By mutilating labor's native vegetation act, I thought I'd
this has
increase
a lot
land
of effort
clearing by
behind it.
45%. But what's the difference? Woohoo! I increased it by 1,300%. Mamma mia! When I discovered the Brumbies were destroying Kosciuszko National Park, bringing a bunch of endangered species to the brink of extinction, I was gonna authorize a cull, but then I realized I could make $10,000 in donations by allowing them to destroy the park. Woohoo! Everything in my life was going great until, what's this? Branch.
Jesus Christ.
Someone hurt my feelings.
Wow.
We also made some merch. Anyway,
Jesus.
this is all super auspicious because I swear to God, earlier in the year, unrelated to this new
what is a
beef,
Brumby?
we realised John Barilaro had this palatial multi-million-dollar estate that he Airbnb'd as a side hustle to his other gig, being the leader of a state. We thought,
it's a wild
surely
horse.
This is the dumbest thing you could do, right? Like, especially since the other half of the time, it's not Airbnb, that's where he lives. So we thought, wouldn't it be good if we film a video on the history of all the shitty things he's done, but film it at that Airbnb? So that's where one of our biggest videos, Bruz, comes from, which was released in September of 2020, which I've got to say, it had a very good twist, because as you've probably gathered, or haven't because you're that dumb, I'm filming at your estate. And I want you to be the first to know that I f***ed in both your guest houses. Oh, Stooge, we tracked the video. It's coming from inside the
I don't know if
house.
that's true or not, but that's such a fucking flex. This guy actually sounds unbelievably stupid. Like, legitimately, observably stupid. I am believing 100% that his feelings got hurt because Friendly Jordies made fun of him, and he probably cried. Like, he actually probably did cry and then resign. That's crazy. Holy shit, that is actually crazy. They came on his pillows. Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, I wasn't there to watch him have sex and pound cheeks at John Barilaro's Airbnb or anything. I'm just going to take his word for it. And even if he didn't, he planted the seed of doubt in his head forever now. The guy that makes fun of him also fucked in his beds. So either way, that's a W. Thanks to the bits, Phaedrix. Well, that was sweet. Well, thank you for that, Phaedrix.
Expect this from me, but I highly recommend this video. Links in the description. Obviously, the video caused quite a stir. Front page news, in fact. Unbeknownst to us at the time, and it was later revealed by New South Wales Parliament after that video came out, John was demanding the police conduct a bug sweep of the property. Something that would cost the taxpayers $10
And a blacklight,
despite
please.
the fact we
We need to know if he
almost
actually
that
fucked
much
here.
to stay at the property. Just imagine how stupid and entitled it is to be Deputy Premier and lease one of your primary residences out to anyone. I never considered doing this before, but say a property developer wants a favour, they could very easily get material to blackmail you.
I have an unlicensed casino in my basement. Please don't tell the authorities. Also, if you wrong me, you end up in this secret room.
There you go, some unreleased footage from Bruz. More on that at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Anyway, after the release of Bruz, John became increasingly agitated by the videos we were making. One in particular seemed to really bother the Bavallaro family. It was called The Italian Job. That was released in November of 2020. It was an expose that detailed how John and his dad, before politics, became the directors of their local Italian club. They then racked up a bunch of unsecured debt and as directors sold the clubhouse property for pennies to a company they directed and owned shares in, thus becoming the landlords. They then jacked up the rent against themselves, forcing the Italian club to go defunct and leaving them with the property as directors of the club they had already sold to themselves for a bargain. Later they sold that property, formerly owned by the Italian community, to developers, making a $700,000 profit. Wow, now
Not bad.
That's a migrant success story. And if that's all too complex, full video is linked in the description. But in short, it was just heaps dodge. In another video, I called Bavallaro up and attempted to ask him about allegations surrounding him and extramarital affairs. Turns out, John's intimate relationships would eventually come under scrutiny in a election hearing concerning his boss's intimate relationships, but that's a story for another day. I didn't know this at the time, but these videos caused John's office to contact the New South Wales Police Force just days after their release, specifically the Counter-Terrorism and Special Tactics Command.
God, what a flex. You grilled a man's cheeks so hard that he called in the Counter-Terrorism and Special Tactics Command. Fucking Jack Bauer had to be put on your case because you bullied this guy's feelings so hard. Jesus Christ. Now I think he fucked someone that's not his wife. Now, I mean, I know nothing about him or the case, but now because he called in fucking CTU, the Counter-Terrorism Unit, now I think he absolutely cheated on his wife. He went too hard to prove he didn't. Now I feel like he's covering something up. You see, you gotta, there's a fine line between, like, a proper response and an overkill. And when you reach overkill, you're basically already guilty. Oh no, John.
Tactics Command. New South Wales Police then set up a dedicated strike force to put surveillance on us. A YouTube channel. That's right. In Australia, our terror police go after YouTube channels. It was called Strike
You're a
Force
menace.
Wyargent.
A menace. They had to.
Is Wyargent. Why couldn't they have just called it what they were targeting? Strike Force Big Cock. I told
True,
you
that's a better
bizarre
name.
Story, but it
Deep
gets
Throat.
stranger. At the same time this is happening, John's also contacting defamation lawyers, who we have also confirmed were at some point in contact with the strike force surveilling us. The defamation lawyers draft up this absolutely
He's a prime
schizophrenic
messiah.
letter detailing all of John's grievances with the videos I made, including that I called him a greasy little scrotum. He needed
That
to
was
clear
too
the
far.
record on that one. Let everyone know that's not true. This letter gets sent to me just a few days before Christmas of 2020, and because unlike you lucky Americans, we don't have your First Amendment in this country, someone can very easily take you to court for calling them a stupid fat idiot, which was something else that the lawyers whinged about in this letter. The first few months of 2021 go by, and they were pretty quiet. Unbeknownst
Seeing
to us,
insults
the
in
police
writing
hearing
on a
him
legal
be
document is
surveilling us
crazy.
On behalf of a guy that we exposed and made fun of. But we know we have to respond to this nutty letter at some point, so we thought, what better place than a university forum that Barilaro is speaking at. We pay him a visit. He tells us to f*** off. This is all detailed in the video Bruz Eternal, which goes through all of the contents of the legal threat we got. The video has now been taken off of YouTube, I think because we advertised the greasy little scrotum key rings we were selling. You can still watch that video on our website, though.
That'll get you.
Obviously, this exchange jolted Johnny's Defo lawyers into action, and they filed in the federal court, leaking this fact to the press before we even knew. I had to find out in the press. What am I? A murder victim? Jesus, it's like the Nightcrawler's coming before the cops. Oh, and side note, for his lawyers, he got attorneys who at the time were representing alleged war criminals and a barrister who was just prohibited by court from acting for a client, another one of Australia's most colourful politicians, because of a conflict of interest. Only the best. Around this
That's
time,
the Avengers. That's the A-Team.
That while I was away
Jesus
on
Christ.
tour, the police came and visited my house. I thought, that's quite bizarre, so I get my lawyer Mark to call up the police, who at first deny that there was any visit at all. And only after Mark quotes a time and date does he get transferred to the Counter-Terrorism and Special Tactics Command, specifically the Fixated Persons Unit, a unit set up in the wake of a deadly siege in the centre of Sydney. Basically, this unit's MO is to stop lone wolf terrorists. People like, I don't know, Joker or Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. That's literally me.
A bigger threat than the Joker, I'd
The police
argue.
officer there informs Mark that he had
He's
a
something
warrant
far
for my
stronger.
arrest and he was at my house to arrest me, but I wasn't there. So the police seemingly had time to think, walk back from the brink, and were apparently awaiting legal advice. Anyway, back to the lawsuit. Because we hadn't been served yet, we decided to have a little fun and do what is perhaps the greatest Friendly Geordies gag in history, because we hadn't been handed the documents. We are on the elevator up to Mark O'Brien Legal to ask to be served because it's been a week exactly, and the press knows all about what I've done wrong, but I don't. Let's find out.
I serve you here with the originating application, the statement of claim and the grieving steps.
Oh, thanks so much, and... Oh no. So we've been served. And what they gave us, in my honest opinion, is another whiny crock of shit. That was.
Does he actually have to?
with-
So he's been sued a million fucking times. Does he actually ever have to even defend himself, or does it get thrown out pretty quickly? Because this man has collected more lawsuits than I have Pokemon cards at this point, from the feelings he's hurt. Yeah, he's had to defend a few times. Okay. Because, like, I've seen the sheer number of them, and it is overwhelming. But I also know quite a few of them get thrown out. Like, even in the description of this one is being thrown out. So I was just wondering if he ever even had to actually go defend himself, or if they eventually just drop it. Defamation in Australia is a mess. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know Australian law, so I couldn't tell you. He had to say sorry and edit a video and then pay a $100,000 cost once? Holy fuck. Jeepers. He's a tier 1 trio.
Delusional and paranoid readings of silly jokes, but had straight out factual errors, like mistaking their own client John Barilaro for being a federal politician instead of a state politician. Absolute
Amateur.
geniuses. For
Amateur.
Americans, that's like lawyers acting for DeSantis or some other governor thinking he's president. Just embarrassingly stupid mistakes for a normal person, let alone lawyers. Not much happens for about a day. Then on the 4th of June 2021, my producer Christo is walking back from uni.
Oh,
He's already
I know
planning
this
on
one.
meeting our lawyer Mark that day, so he had the documents on him. Yet on the way back, he bumps into Barilaro himself. Attempted to hand back the documents to tell him about the mistake, you know, being listed as a federal politician. Barilaro basically took no notice. Then, only a few hours later...
No, I'm allowed to film it though. No, I'm allowed to film it.
No, you're not. Could you under
Could you
I'm
film
allowed
this?
to film
Could
it.
you film this, Mum?
You can film it. That's okay. But you're not allowed to, okay?
Yeah. I'm not allowed to.
Oh God.
You can take my, no, you can take my phone.
Oh boy. Jeff Danger just rolled up in the background over there. Yeah, this was a big clip when it came out.
They're giving away evidence and trying to run away with it. Yeah?
What's happening? They're just fighting him.
Run off with evidence. Okay? Who are you doing this? You're gonna win. Jesus Christ.
I'm coming.
Film this.
I am.
Make
What
sure
the
you don't film it. This is bizarre.
This is not Australia.
Yeah, it's Mark Davis.
Have you got the number?
You hurt a 51-year-old woman. You knocked
I
me
tripped over.
You killed my dog.
I tripped
who's
over.
Old.
Okay.
No, you did not.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
pushed your way. You pushed
No,
me
no,
down.
I tripped over.
You
That's
assaulted
whatever it was.
me. You assaulted
Okay.
me. You
No, I
just
didn't.
assaulted me. And I've got
did.
witnesses.
We told you
I've
to
got-
hand over the phone.
I have got witnesses.
You handed it to her. I tripped over you.
You pushed
That's what
me
happened.
down in my own home.
No, I didn't.
You
I
absolutely
If you're tripping that easily, you're in the wrong line of work.
It seems I've made enemies of politicians, lawyers, and now the police. Christo was arrested by the Terror Police, specifically the Fixated Persons Unit, charged with 4 counts of stalking and intimidation. So we're now facing criminal charges and a defamation suit. We raise $1 million in legal funds, which we're still using to this day. Thank you so much. Weeks after the arrest, New South Wales is plunged into lockdown, and I know from how much time I had to spend on it, instead of focusing on his job as Deputy Premier during a crisis, Barilaro is spending a significant amount of his time preparing his defamation suit against a YouTuber. Even Logan
It's far more
Paul
important,
had the decency
obviously.
to back out of that. Barilaro even goes on television to spread lies about his involvement with the Fixated Persons Unit, making the insane denial that he had anything to do with the arrest.
Did you ask for the Fixated Persons Investigation Unit to be involved in the arrest of Jordan Shanks's employee, Christo Lanka?
Absolutely not. Rubbish again. Rubbish. You know, they want to pitch it a particular way to get community support from their social community. They use whatever means to misrepresent the truth. And again, I'll leave that up to the police. They'll deal with all of this in due course.
Right, but just to clarify, so you had no role in that particular unit being
But Tom, I've
involved
already
in
said, I've actually made it clear. Tom.
Well, then just say it. Okay. Now it's for certain.
Asking that question is an indictment on your level of journalism.
I then
What?
release a video that criticized...
What? I'm always so blown away by that take. How dare you ask me a question that's not just boilerplate, easy to respond to? You're bad. You suck. Your journalism's bad. Please keep feeding me softballs. I can't think for myself. You're putting me on the back foot. Fuck you. Is he crying? I don't know. John Barilaro's eyes are always tearing up, it looks like. I don't know. His feelings are just perpetually hurt. If it's a rainy day outside, he cries. If it's a sunny day, he cries because it's too sunny. Like, I don't know. He just seems like a really sensitive guy. At least from everything I've seen from him. These are the resub jumper cables. The guy looks like he got... Well, I mean, in defense of John Barilaro, he literally did kind of get cucked by extension. Because this fucking idiot put his personal residence up as an Airbnb, so Friendly Jordies went and had sex there. Like, his estate got cucked. So of course he's going to be sad forever. Thanks to the resub Condor.
criticises the police's response, and shockingly, I know you're not going to believe this, proves that the guy that complained to the police had something to do with the police being involved in Christo's arrest. Always the one you least suspect. Because of this video, the police asked the court to find me in criminal contempt and launch an application for a suppression order. That's right, the police try to get another criminal prosecution on top of the charges against Christo. Thankfully, it doesn't go so well for the cops. They end up withdrawing the application and paying both Christo and my legal costs of over $20,000.
Hey,
but Christo's
attaboy.
criminal charges still hang over him, and my defo case is still ongoing. During this time, Barilaro also decided to publicly announce his intention to resign from politics, basically saying, I forced him to resign.
The defamation case definitely playing a big part of this.
God, that's so good.
I don't know how many of you can endure what I've endured on online. I feel for young men and women, young boys and girls that get bullied on social media. I feel for them because as a
Bro, you are literally the most powerful person in the region, and you're crying about YouTubers making fun of you so much that you're quitting your job. That is the weakest, softest shit of all time. Actual 14-year-olds get bullied harder than you do, and you know what they do? Continue on and move forward. You're the fucking most powerful politician in the region, and you curl up into the little fetal position suckling your thumb because a YouTuber called you a greasy scrotum. That is wild. That is fucking wild. Holy shit. You know what? I actually don't even think it's the mean words that Jordy says against him. I really think when Jordy's fucked at his house because this stupid idiot put his Airbnb or his actual home up for the Airbnb, I think that's what broke him. I think that, like, actually broke his whole soul. I think that was just, like, this big eureka moment where it's like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot. And he couldn't handle the realization. Like, the self-reflection was too much. Overwhelming. Thanks for the 10 gift subs, Nathan. Appreciate that, man. And thanks to the resub Hess in the tier 1, Cam in tier 1, Wiki. And the Bits Paladin.
Someone that's been around the traps, a 49-year-old man that's played it rough and tough.
Rough and tough, huh?
It's made it very difficult for me.
As all this is going on, in order to understand how this bizarre and overtly political prosecution came about, Christo's lawyers start issuing subpoenas to Barilaro's staffers. His chief of staff, Siobhan Hamblin, seems to rid herself of certain documents and becomes completely uncontactable by the court or lawyers. It's a pretty serious thing to do, ignoring a court, so the magistrate floats issuing a possible arrest warrant. Until just in time, her lawyers make contact, and she's eventually brought in.
That would have been huge, though. That would have been huge.
Barrister Emmanuel Kirkasharian. During the cross-examination, Hamblin admits that she got rid of documents from her possession, documents pertaining to Christo's arrest, after she'd already been subpoenaed. We never got those documents, and Hamblin never got any punishment for blatantly hiding from a subpoena. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, during this time, I'm also fighting a defamation case brought by Barilaro. I put in an application to have it heard by a jury, something pretty common sense that you'd think you'd automatically be entitled to, right? Well, Barilaro opposed the jury, wanting the case to be heard by a judge only, with his legal team's reasoning being it would be too hard to organise with COVID. Ironically, John was in charge of the COVID roadmap to ending the lockdown in New South Wales. And on the same day his legal team were opposing a jury on those grounds, John was publicly flagging his intention to open up New South Wales ASAP. I lost my application for a jury despite that and was ordered to pay costs to John Barilaro's lawyers for daring to even ask. Now, ready to hear the most mind-bogglingly illogical challenge that we faced during the defo case. One of the things that John was suing me for was saying that he had lied to Parliament. Yet because of parliamentary privilege, basically English law from the 17th century designed to protect politicians' freedom of speech from the King of England getting in your face, in Australia, nothing said in Parliament can be examined by a court. For Americans, Parliament is like Congress. That means I'm unable to present a transcript in which we believe John lied to Parliament in order to mount my defence. John brings a suit against me and then hides behind special parliamentary protections only afforded to him. So my legal team launches an
Holy
application
shit,
to
that's
strike out
Galaxy
that
Brain.
claim, opposed again by Barilaro, who fights tooth and nail to keep that claim in and keep his special protections that prevent his own words from being examined in court. And guess what? We lose. The judge rules that it would be more unfair to deprive Barilaro of the right to vindicate his reputation.
What? What is that
than
stance?
to make it impossible
That's just
for me
blatant
to
corruption.
defend myself. So I'm basically stuck in.
That needs to be highly scrutinized ASAP. That is so wild. Holy shit. God damn. Imagine still being bound by a 1700s ruling to protect a politician from saying something stupid in Parliament. Oh my god. Thanks to Tier 1 Han and the Prime Andy and the Resub Zero and the Gift Sub Han. He literally said he can defend himself, but not you. I know. I know.
Court with no jury of my peers, a judge that doesn't know the first thing about social media, and I can say that because at one point he was asking for someone to explain to him what tagging is. I'm also stuck
well, I mean,
with
that's
a claim
confusing,
that
though.
I can't
That's tough.
defend myself
Tough to wrap
from.
your
So
head
it's
around.
already an automatic loss for me because my opponent, the man who brought the lawsuit, is protected by a British law from the 17th century. Oh yeah, and all the whiles I'm being surveilled by a dedicated strike force on behalf of John Barilaro. I hadn't even been firebombed yet someone thought I hadn't suffered enough. So I entered court-ordered mediation with Barilaro with this knowledge, and we come to a deal. I say sorry for hurting your feelings, pay the cost to his lawyers for the jury and parliamentary privilege, strike out applications that I had already had to pay to them because I lost those, and I stopped selling merch that depicts Barilaro as a scrotum, and in exchange, he drops the defo case against me. In the end, it was a phenomenal deal for me considering the circumstances because Barilaro didn't get a cent from me and I only had to pay what I would have even if I stayed in the suit. That is pretty unheard of in defamation.
Yeah, but you'd still like a bigger W conclusion where once again Barilaro left in tears on the courtroom floor shaking his fist at the clouds. Damn you, I'm not a greasy scrotum, Jordies. But I mean, yeah. All things considered, this was probably the best he could have hoped for.
Defamation cases are pretty much rigged in Australia. For a defendant to come out with not even 1 cent of damages to be paid to the complainant, that's like winning the Running Man. It doesn't happen. It's almost as if Barilaro didn't want me mounting my other defences. You know, those that weren't stopped by a 17th century shield. It was like he had me on the hook, and then he threw me back out to sea. Yeah, Barilaro wasn't just suing me, he was also suing Google for daring to host my videos on YouTube. And
Oh, very
Google
smart.
and him
What a
don't
good
come to
play.
a deal, so the case is still set to go ahead in March of 2022. In late December of 2021, I released a video detailing that I had found an Ashley Madison account linked to John Barilaro's email address and personal details. You know the website that had the slogan,
That's so
"Life
good.
is short, have an affair." It was hacked a few years ago. I
Yes,
swear to God.
that was
as with
huge.
The rest of the saga, you couldn't make this up.
That I can't wait for the reveal, but I just have to once again chime on that. With that Ashley Madison hack, I don't know how many of you remember that. That caused like actual hysteria for maybe like a week. Like on Facebook, like the old gentlemen, they were breaking down like, how could this have happened? The internet is a secure place. My life is ruined. I can't believe it. Like absolutely having this nuclear meltdown because all of their shit was now exposed. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. Ashley Madison was a place where married men went for cheating on their wife or something. That was the whole shtick. That was the whole basis of the site.
The username on the account was John Loves to Lick. The video has been taken down
That's
by YouTube
beautiful.
in
That's a
Australia.
beautiful
American
name.
subs probably still could be able to see it. It's the vid with the lick emoji as the title. It's very funny. I wish I could go more into it now. Moving on. It's now early 2022. Christo's criminal trial is fast approaching, and so is John's defamation trial. Yet very, very strangely, just a bit over a week before John's defamation trial is set to begin, police drop the charges against Christo and pay his legal costs. Again, almost like the police were working to benefit John, so he could have a bargaining chip in his defo case. Then, another strange thing happens, perhaps the most tragic of them all. Just days before Google are set to go against John, they drop all their legal defences, leaving John with the legal equivalent of a layup. He now couldn't lose, and the trial would just be a question of how much money he'd get. This was completely illogical on Google's part, and to me it was very, very suspicious. There was no logical, strategic reason for them to drop their defences, so this results in John's lawyers being able to spend the entire trial getting away with whatever bullshit they like, repeatedly smearing me as a racist, misunderstanding jokes, misrepresenting the timeline of the videos to make it seem like John didn't react first, dramatically overstating to the point that it was comical how much ad rev YouTube videos made. And worst of all, John wasn't asked point blank any difficult questions. And I'm not there to defend myself or give a true account of what actually happened. Most importantly for John, he got away with this narrative. I was driven out of politics by this horrible
That's such a good narrative,
much
though.
more powerful than me YouTube men. And Google made so much money from his awful videos. Yes, one of the richest corporations really needed a few $1,000s Australian in ad rev.
I am so, like, to be fair though, I get the frustration from Jordy's here, but the fact that's the narrative he ran with is perhaps the best outcome you could have hoped for aside from him losing more money. He now just looks like such a bitch. He went on record and then on TV to cry about being bullied by you and cited you as the reason he stepped down. That is like the fattest fucking W you could hope for. Like, that's amazing. I can't get over that's actually the, like what he is saying the reason is for him stepping down. I just think that's perfect. Like, that's the perfect outcome. Yeah, I'll watch the police chase when it's over. I don't like to watch them live just in case of toss. Thanks for resub Octopony and Damn Boy.
That's why my videos were kept up. Pure commercial interest. I'm single-handedly keeping Google afloat, guys. That's the meat of the case. The reason John would be awarded damages centers around the claim that he was forced to resign because of my videos and the fact that Google kept them up. Keep that in mind. After a few days, the trial finishes. On the 6th of June 2022, the judgment comes out and awards John over $700,000 in damages. And not only that, the judge refers me to the registrar for consideration of possible criminal contempt charges, mostly because of the video I made that detailed the John Loves to Lick Ashley Madison account. That was apparently criminally intimidating to John.
Oh,
but John getting a strike force on us wasn't. So
well, I mean, hey. John cheating on his wife is so much more traumatizing than a young man and his family being attacked by the counterterrorism goofballs here, right? Like, you can't even put them on the same playing field. An affair is far scarier. And John, I mean, John wears his heart on his sleeve, man. Like, he can't take that kind of stress. You don't get it. You don't get it.
So throughout the course of this ordeal, John got away with his chief of staff deliberately ignoring subpoenas, having a police unit surveil us, using police to bring vexatious charges to use as a bargaining chip in a separate civil trial, opposing a jury, hiding behind parliamentary privilege. My great crime has stayed the same throughout this ordeal, and it just might be why I was firebombed, which is being an annoying pest to a lot of very powerful people in Australia. So John had his big win. But one thing he didn't tell the court, what his lawyers didn't tell Justice Raries, or us for that matter, was that during the trial, John had already had a few very, very lucrative career moves lined right up. In fact, better paid than his job as Deputy Premier. Barely a week after the judgment came out, the New South Wales government announced that it was appointing John Barilaro to be New South Wales Trade Commissioner in New York.
Hey, congrats.
A $500,000 a year taxpayer-funded job that John himself created while he was in office. This wasn't even the worst thing Barilaro had done that year, but created by far the largest controversy of his career. A parliamentary inquiry was set up to figure exactly exactly how John got that job. And I can't really go into everything here, but suffice to say, it was pretty damning. One of his ex-staffers alleged that as early as 2018, John had said that that big New York job was the job for when I get the out of this place. New South Wales Parliament then questioned John about
Holy
the timing
shit.
of his resignation,
Holy
with
shit.
John stating under oath that he had only decided to resign days before he announced it. New South Wales Parliament then
resub
presented
Puffles,
an affidavit from his
best friend
defamation
in Tier
case
1
against
stank.
me that
Resub Grey.
contradicted that evidence.
In that meeting, you were yet to decide you were resigning at that point.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
As I said, if the events of Friday didn't occur, I would have stayed on for who knows how long.
This is your outline of evidence in your court case, and can you just read out the highlighted?
Yep. I have therefore made a decision to retire from politics. I do not want to face another election.
And what's the date on that, down the bottom?
The 24th
I can't
of
read.
September.
After this appearance at Parliament, John pulled out of all future appearances, citing mental health issues.
Yeah,
Mind you,
no,
this
no,
is
that
after
makes
him
sense.
begging to tell his side of the story.
But the upper house won't call me to the hearing because they don't want to hear the truth. So give me the opportunity in a hearing, in real life time, live, for everybody to get the same information at the same time, and we can go through this process.
I'm planning on maybe doing a dive into that later in the year if you guys want, but this whole matter is still under investigation by New South Wales Parliament and was referred to the Independent Commission Against Corruption. John was also under investigation by the police. I promise to explain this to you. Clearly, John wasn't doing too well with all the attention his new job got him, because when cameramen went to film him one night regarding this scandal, this happened.
I wonder if that was the woman he met on Ashley Madison or if it was his wife. There's really no telling. Oh, this is the cameraman.
It was a
Hey,
long
come on now.
and
Please. The cameraman wins this. John took the most damage. John was the one that hit the blast zone here. Cameraman's got 30 pounds of fucking iron on him. And he is still just manhandling John with one arm.
It was a long and winding road to get to that point, but we got there. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we found our firebomber. Dodgy cameraman Matt Costello. So bitter about Barilaro's epic beatdown, he had to prove himself by taking down the man the courts claimed to have killed Barilaro. For the Yanks watching, that was a joke. The cameraman's gear was broken and he was quite injured from the exchange and couldn't work for a while, so we're now using our legal fund to pay for a legal action against John Barilaro on behalf of the cameraman.
Let's go.
Just a quick
That's so
update.
good.
Days ago, John's charges were dropped on the grounds of mental health.
How is that an excuse? Wait, what? Does that work in Australia? So let's say assault and battery, whatever. Like you show evidence like, hey, this is really taking a toll on my mental health. Like I'm really stressed about this, and then be like, oh my god, we're so fucking sorry. Holy shit. Okay, we'll drop the case, please. Take all the time you need to recover from the mental burden of this whole ordeal. Oh my god, wow. Is that just like something you can actually do? Like obviously assault charges are going to be mentally draining, even to, well, especially to the super sensitive goofball Barilaro. But is that a real defense? Like, my mental health is suffering from this, please drop it. And they'll be like, oh, yes. Well, now that you've said that. It's like in Pirates of the Caribbean with Parlay. If you shout Parlay, they just have to stop everything. No, not a thing. He's just super corrupt. Okay, thank God. I'm happy to hear that. Well, I mean, I'm not happy to hear about the corruption, but I'm glad to hear this isn't like a real tactic you can employ. He's the Prime Jelly and the Tier 1 Whack and the Tier 1 Paladin.
Quite strangely, the prosecutor barely objected. We'll soon be releasing a video of the strange circumstances surrounding the original delay in police charging Barilaro and the conduct of the prosecution in the case, ultimately resulting in his charges being dropped. Suffice to say, some pretty interesting and concerning information is set to come out. But you'd think this saga would end there, right? No. In the 6 months after John had quit politics, he actually worked another job before landing the Trade Commissioner role. I don't know how he managed to do it, but this one is even more scandalous. Executive Director of large Sydney property development company Coronation Property Co. In August last year, we released an investigation into this developer, which detailed never before published links between them and one of the most violent crime organisations in all of Australian history, the Alameddine crime family, who are in no way suspects in the firebombing. No, not them. I'm sure they all have very credible alibis.
Wow, that's
we
terrifying.
revealed that Andy DeHaas, the now former Secretary and Director of the construction wing of Coronation, MN Builders, he was charged with kidnapping in 2009. After an extremely violent incident where a man was chased down, kidnapped, held against his will and bashed by a group of bikies, one of whom is now on trial for murder. These charges were only dropped after the victim seemingly disappeared. We also have revealed photos of Nahas with high-ranking members of the Alameddine crime family. All that info can be found in articles on our website, or the full video. And John Barilaro, after being essentially the leader of the state, went to work for these people. I told you New South Wales was rotten to the core. See how one stupid beef about an accent and the word bruz snowballed into a massive saga that made me the enemy of just about every elite in the state. Police, politicians, organised crime. I really should have chosen one to be friends with so I'd have a little bit of cover, but... Oh yeah, also... There was a really loud, violent cop that arrested Christo and assaulted
Hey,
his
that's the
mum
guy
and
I
girlfriend.
said.
We did a video that detailed some pretty strange behaviour of his in a courtroom, linked in the description. But we're not done. You know how earlier I said New South Wales is the gambling capital of the world? Yeah. The gambling lobby came after me with a criminal prosecution. How fun. Essentially, my producer, Christo,
gambling lobby?
a terminally ill whistleblower, a man called Troy Stoles. Troy used to work for the gambling lobby, an entity called Clubs New South Wales. It was Troy's job to make sure venues were complying with anti-money laundering regulations. Spoiler alert, Arnold Schwarzenegger survives Running Man. Sorry, that was the wrong spoiler. These venues weren't complying, and it's very easy to launder money through poker machines in New South Wales. Check out this video we did with Boy about it. So Troy leaked to federal parliament the fact that 95% of Clubs New South Wales venues weren't complying with money laundering regulations. Clubs New South Wales sued him, drained him of nearly $1 million in seemingly never-ending lawsuits. Troy had to sell his house. He then developed terminal cancer. So Christo interviewed him about the ordeal. Apparently that interview was criminally intimidating, enough for Clubs New South Wales to bring a private prosecution against Troy and I. So now I've made even more enemies, the gambling lobby and anyone that would use them to launder money. Sorry, after filming this, there was a few updates on this front.
Holy
Clubs
shit.
New South Wales fired their CEO, and then days later, John Barilaro tried to become Clubs New South Wales' new CEO. And Clubs New South Wales rejected him. By the way, this came out on the same day John was saying in court that he was too mentally ill to face his assault charges, but well enough to run Clubs New South Wales, one of the most scrutinised jobs in the country right now.
Well, the thing is, like, assault charges are a scary thing. That's like a mental ewy. Like, that's yucky. Like, that doesn't make me feel good. But being in charge of a massive gambling company, that's a yippee kind of feeling. Like, that's two very different sides of, like, the mental spectrum here. So I can totally understand him not wanting to go to court to face the assault charges. That is very stressful. This is pleasure. This is fun. So I get it. I get it, John.
Don't you see? All these people are kind of just one group. They're the Avengers of dodgy c***s. And perhaps a less hilarious update, just a few days ago the charges against Troy were dropped, and Troy's civil suits were settled with Clubs New South Wales. And so were mine. This is breaking news. My criminal charge has been dropped. So well done me. And Troy, I suppose. The lawyers, they did their bit, but I think, the big player was definitely me. More on this soon. This video is going on for a real long time. We also did some shit about cocaine, the opposition leader, $100 million security contracts in Papua New Guinea. Can't be f***ed go over that though. Watch it in your own time. What else? Allegations that the former defence minister went all eyes wide shut in Parliament House prayer room. Numerous journalists and politicians publicly admitting their desire to have me thrown in jail. The 7th richest man in Australia threatening to sue me. Numerous other property developers and dodgy bears. I have a longer enemies list than Richard Nixon. So despite having my suspicions, I'm still not completely sure as to who done it. But enough of listing enemies, it's now time for my friends list. First of all, sorry to my neighbours and landlord, and future apology to whoever finds my corpse. It's going to be messy. I'm not going down without a fight. Big thank you, boy.
That's like actually fucking terrifying. Like he's making light of it, but the enemies that he has listed here are actually fucking horrifying. Like, I can't believe he's still staying in Australia, honestly. I really can't. So, for those that don't remember the situation, I'll quickly let you know. His house got firebombed, but it was actually the second attempt. So they initially firebombed his fucking neighbors, thinking it was his house. And then when they realized it wasn't his house that they fucking firebombed, they came back to try and finish the job. And like he mentioned, the house didn't even have smoke alarms, so like he literally probably would have just died if he was actually home at the time. Because it would have been when he was asleep. And the enemies he's listed here and their connections are very serious. I don't know how he's sitting here and being like okay about it and lucid. What a man's man. Wow.
Pyrocynical, Moist Critical, Isaac Butterfield, Michael West, Kevin Rudd, Chris Mins, Michael Daly, Peter Cr1tikal, my lawyers, and the people that house me in the meantime. And most importantly, you, the viewer. No, actually, just my patrons. You guys really helped us in our darkest time and kept the business running. Everything we make from Patreon goes right back to paying the staff and making production possible, so you literally kept us afloat. But for the rest of you, chuck us a few bucks. You get early access to videos, extra content, and the more we have, the bigger we get, the bigger the truth bombs, the bigger the firebombs that get hurled back in retaliation. Oh, and a massive thank you to everyone's favourite Russian Australian YouTuber. I did a thing for kitting out my new security. Check out that video. There are too many people to thank for their support, so sorry if I missed you, but I'd be here all day if I went through all of them. But as you can clearly see from this video, I really, really, really need to learn to shut the fuck up sometimes. But we all know that's not going to happen. The reason I was off for so long, by the way, I wasn't off for patrons, they still got videos every week, was because I thought we'd stop to assess the threat level and get some more information. But it's been months, and I still know about as much about the firebombing as the day it happened. So I got tired of waiting and not making videos for you guys. Plus I have some considerable gambling problems that I need to get money for. Just another little Australian joke. Tune in next week because even though we haven't been posting, we've been working, and I think you're in for a treat if you enjoy the rug being swept from under the feet of fat politicians. On that note, I'd also like to officially announce my new stand-up show for the year.
God, that was so fucking good. I can't believe they can't find... Well, I can. After everything I've heard today, I can absolutely believe how they haven't found the firebomber.
Definitely not Bruz. Didn't say that. Coming to a city near you if you live in Australia, hopefully. But hey, you never know. If enough of you high flyers in LA, that's right, Shreveport, Louisiana, subscribe, I just might catch a plane there and make the groundbreaking cultural observation that Burger King is called Hungry Jack's here. What up with that? Anyway, get your tickets now from friendlyjordies.com and see Bruise live on stage before the court takes it down or a gang takes me out. To end the video though, I thought I'd enlist the help of you fellow TikTokers. Yep, get this going on TikTok. At this point, I'm not sure the police can solve it alone, so make the firebombing like one of those murders you guys love to live through victoriously.
How do you let her know who did this? Everyone in town's a suspect.
Well, I couldn't possibly solve this mystery. Can you?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean, you know, it's my job, right?
And to get you started, I'll give you a clue. Exclusive, definitely real CCTV footage from the night of the fire. Like and subscribe, big vids coming.
What's cold one?
Oh, God.
Please share and comment below.
That was so fucking good.
Hey Jordan, man.
I am, like, genuinely concerned for his safety,
I had a bit
though.
too much to drink the other night, and I was kind of pissed off about you stealing my underwear. So,
Thanks,
you know, I
Larissa,
took it
honey.
upon myself just to head over your place and
Roldondo.
But, you know, I didn't know it was a fire. I just thought it'd make a funny sound and some pretty colors. But yeah, it turns out it did a lot of damage. So I'm sorry, man. But like, if anything, I think you deserved it. All right, have a good one, mate. Call me.
Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. He has so many enemies in power over there. Thanks, Resub I had no idea the list would be that long. Fuck. Dude better keep moving. I'm sure he's got some kind of plan to stay safe. He's gotta. I'm sure he does. He's a real journalist. Yes, he is a real journalist. A dying breed. He needs a bunker. What he actually needs is a security team. Like, legitimately. He's at that point where he legitimately needs a security team. Poor choice of words. Oh, about the dying breed thing? He's a part of a nearly extinct breed, but the ones that aren't extinct are very powerful, and they're usually around for hundreds of years, is what I meant to say. The problem as well is people who hear real journalism but don't like the message and reject it. See, like, I don't really subscribe to that belief, because if you look at some of, like, the real journalists that do great work like Jordy's, they are very well received by actual people, not politicians and not the elite. Like, that's how you know it's the sign of, like, good journalism. I never really see pushback when you're met with, like, a real journalist. Thanks the resub, Gizzy, and Tier 1 Bubbles. And the Prime Simpy. That's assuming it's a rational person. This is a question to the Australians in chat. Is there just normal people that don't like Jordy's reporting? Because I don't know how you can take an issue with it. He literally just dumps, like, the fattest, hottest facts and presents them in an entertaining way. Like, maybe you don't like the jokes, maybe you don't like the skits. I could see people not liking that. But, like, the actual information it's pretty bulletproof. I don't know how you get mad or reject it. Like, as a normal person, obviously the people in power fucking hate it. But I just don't know how a normal person would, like, reject it. older people. I guess maybe. I could possibly see that. And thank you again for that, Camp. I really appreciate the fat drop again, man. Thank you for the generosity. Conservatives hate him. I don't think you're actually Australian. Like John Barilaro is not a conservative. So it wouldn't even be the conservatives that would hate him. I think you're just way off the mark. Yes, he is. Is he? Wait, what? Am I misremembering? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, he's part of the Liberal Party. What are you talking about? John Barilaro, former Australian politician, served as the 18th Deputy Premier of New South Wales, leader of the New South Wales Division of the National Party of 2021. And then I just saw it. I just scrolled a little too far. I'm just going to Control F. Yeah. 2016, Barilaro was elected unopposed as leader of the National Party in New South Wales following the resignation of Troy Grant and following the resignation of two other people as the leader of the New South Wales Liberal Party, and led the Nationals to form the Liberal National Coalition in whatever ministry. That's their Conservative Party. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. Oh. What the fuck? Why does it have the different name? Why is it fucking upside down? It's like driving on the opposite side of the road. What the fuck? That doesn't make any point. That makes no sense. What in tarnation? Oh. I had no idea. Oh, okay. Well, then what is the... That just blew my fucking mind. Alright. Thank you again for the fat generosity, Camp. I appreciate it, man. And thanks to the resub, Brew, Pierre, and Saturn. Hope you're well, Brew. And thank you for the 5 gift subs, Mitch. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Camp. You're such a fucking sweetheart. The Labour Party is the other one. Okay. Thanks to the resub, Dev, and the gift sub again, Relic. Thanks to the resub, Funk. Party doesn't matter, the yeah, no, I know. I've seen quite a bit of his reporting. I'm very familiar. He does not seem to give a fuck. If there's corruption, Geordies will sniff that shit out. Thanks to the resub, Spook. No, I just don't watch police chases live. I wait till they're over. I don't want to take the chance of a toss moment. Thanks to the resub, Skeleton and Spy Dermal. It is over. Did it end? Thanks to 2 gift subs, Bubs. Many people I know are afraid for him, but very proud of the shit he's doing. I imagine that's, like I said, I imagine that's how most normal people would feel about Geordie's reporting. It's just the elites. And I guess I could understand the perspective of old people also get upset about it, because it challenges their beliefs. But I imagine the vast majority are on Jordy's side. Because it's pretty irrefutable stuff that he presents. Who would ever be on the corrupt side? People that don't believe the side's corrupt, what? Thanks the bits realist. Yeah, I saw that. I just don't believe it, Adonis. And thanks the bits, Abigail. True, he did raise $1 million to help on the court fees, which they are still actively fighting. That is true. Thanks, Risa, Bussy, Buffalo, and the bits, Jake. And Abigail. No, all of his cases are now dropped. Oh, true. I guess with the addendum now, that is pretty much all of them, right? Does he have any other active ones at the moment? Because Club dropped theirs, and I think that was the last one. Is it Prime Lazy? Time to get some new ones. Yeah, honestly, all of his cases are dropped now, all of them concluded. That means Jordy's got a nice clean canvas to work with. He can collect a few more defamation cases, a few more corrupt gambling organizations coming after him for some bogus shit. Yeah, he's got a lot of room to play with now. Yeah, fuck yeah. He's got wiggle room. Thanks for Prime, Sammy. I just don't think it's happening, Adonis. Thanks to Tier 1 Dreadful. And the resub AFK. When are you going to get off your lazy ass and fix your posters? Well, I already told you. I'm getting a new frame to replace them, so I don't feel like fixing the one that fell. But yeah, I'm getting a new frame for him. I'm doing a nice display for it. Is it ABC 7? Was it this one? Is it Prime John? Yeah? That's so fucked up. They spoiled what happens at the end. Why would they do that? It's only an 11-minute stream? Was it super short? It's the wrong one. Which one is it? Because I can't imagine that's the one. No, it looks like it was this one, because this is the one that we saw, the super slow speed one. And yeah, they went back and retroactively changed the title to spoil the end. Stop spoiling the ending. Yeah, it's this one. It's just an actual 11-minute stream. I mean, I'll check it out. I'll give it a shake. Give me just a second, though. I want to tinkle and fill up my water. Be right back. I'm back. I just read something while I was finishing up my water that is very not amazing. Here, hold on. This is the new CEO of YouTube. Okay, so that might have been old. So, Neil's taking over, and I saw on Twitter that he had made a blog post about how he wants to drive YouTube into the Web3 metaverse crypto space. But that may have been an old blog post. I thought he came out... The way it looks makes it sound like it was like super recent. But it looks like it was a 2022 post, which we did know. Though I will say I didn't know he was this into metaverse NFTs and cryptos and shit. I'm gonna tell you, just reading how much he loves it, I'm missing Susan. Yikes. Holy fuck. Wow. This man has really gone whole hog on the crypto space, it seems. Ugh, jinkies. Oh boy. Whew. Let's hope people around him are like, don't do that. Please. It'll be fine, who cares? Spoken like a man who knows nothing about crypto, NFT, and Web3. That whole fucking place is a scam right now. All of it is completely worthless. It is just a money-making scam. And it's not money-making for you. It's money-making for the people that are scamming you. The ones that are putting their greasy fingers into your piggy bank. Check Ludwig's Twitter. He's going to talk to him. Hold on. I'm going to send him a message to make sure he asks about this fucking crypto Web3 shit. Oh, hold on. I just want to be 100% sure, because maybe he's like, oh yeah, in 2022, I was like super into like Bored Apes and Cum Rocket and all that stuff. But then I had a come to Jesus moment where I'm like, wow, I was a fucking idiot. I can't believe I actually pitched that idea to YouTube. I would never do that again. Like, I'm really hoping that's what happens. Hold on. Okay. Thanks to resub Slottable, the bits Kai, and resub Tetramino. Whew! Thanks to Tier 1 Coda. Damn. Yeah, I didn't know how much he liked the whole NFT shit. That is a little scary. Alright. Let's see the chase. Things are a bit silly and the resub ghoulish. You know what? Fuck it. No, I can't. I gotta know. Apparently, this is alleged. I did see this as well. That he was also the one that kind of pushed for removing dislikes. I'm hoping that's just slanderous. I got nothing for that. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that that was a full team decision, and he was not one of, like, the people spearheading it. I'm hoping that's just misinformation, or misattributing that decision to him when it was a whole team that did it. But he is very big into the NFT space, which is bad. Thanks to the bits mall. And the resub yeet. And the resub future. According to Vice, oh yeah, you're talking about the Andrew Tate hit on KSI thing. I saw that on Twitter. Yeah. All right. Goddamn. Whew. Oh, they're coming in super late to the chase. Also, very bold to try and engage in a high-speed pursuit in this vehicle. And he instantly gets pitted. That was an instant pit maneuver on a somewhat, like, occupied street here. Yet the guy that was going 15 didn't get pit maneuvered till an hour and a half. This guy must have done some heinous shit. That's the whole thing, huh? This isn't the stream. It is. Streamed 4 hours ago. It's on their live section. They must have just got to the scene late and started. Oh, this one was covered by Fox 11 mainly. Fox 11 beat ABC this time. Yep, looks like they did. Hour 30. Damn, ABC 7 lacking on this one. If this is the same suspect, it looks like they must have stolen that car.
This driver is trying to do we have any indication if there's anybody else inside? They've already of doing.
Is this the right one?
Damn, we pointed out a few times.
Oh no, this is the slow speed one. Oh, and wait, what? That's the slow speed one. Thanks, the resub grow. $4 hours on this one. Is it this one? Oh, it is this one. They put a thumbnail on this.
Driver pursuit suspect in the city of Whittier. This started in the city of Industry. And here we are, and as the sun gets, as the sun set, as mentioned, Alex and Rick, it makes it even more precarious for law enforcement to bring this to an end, especially because of late we've seen
no, Chris is ABC, not Fox.
Bystanders, their lives taken as a result of a pursuit.
And of course, we are in the middle of rush hour. It looks like the lights may not be on for this particular vehicle, which makes it even more of a dangerous situation here, as we are now officially in the 6 o'clock hour. Alex Michelson, Marla Tate. Marlatea's Rick Dickert here for you. This is usually when we say welcome to the Fox 11 News special report tonight.
What
We
was
begin
his
with
name?
this special
Rick
pursuit
Dickert?
cups and Marlatea's Rick Dickert here for you. This is usually when we say welcome to the Fox
Rick
11 News special
Dickert?
report tonight. We
What a
begin with this
name.
special pursuit coverage. And Rick, it is a dark area. They've got that night sun there to help illuminate it a little bit, but it being so dark on this
Thanks for
street
the
and this
Prime
person having
Love
their
and
lights
Resub
off
Psycho.
makes this even more dangerous.
And Strong Avenue off of Pioneer, that is a residential area there, Alex and Marla, and you could see not a well-illuminated residential street there. This Chrysler minivan with tinted windows, unclear if there's more than just the driver inside that vehicle, but a very dangerous.
He's probably got a whole
pursuit.
family with
Slowed
him.
down just a bit, slowed at that intersection, made a left turn there, but clearly illuminated there by that night sun. As I had mentioned, this pursuit made its way onto the property of Rose Hills Memorial Park, that cemetery you see off the 605. And you see this is a busy area. The City of Industry, Whittier, 605 and 60 freeways. But yes,
He's
as
a
you
prime
mentioned
grape.
there, Alex, he did have an opportunity to hop on the freeway. He chose not to.
It looks like the windows here are tinted as the suspect makes his way through another intersection. And again, it's
Driving
important.
wrong side of the road.
It is important to reiterate the fact that CHP, also helping in this pursuit with LASD, says that the suspect possibly tossed 2 firearms out of the window. So at some point that may have happened.
Yeah, and what we also don't know now, as the suspect continues to drive on the wrong side of the road, we don't know if it's a man or a woman driving. It most often is a man who is driving, but sometimes it is a woman. We have not gotten a great look at this person.
All right,
in
fair,
part
fair,
because
fair.
it is so dark, in part because the windows look
He's
to
a
be
prime man.
illegally tinted, especially dark, which makes it harder to get a peek of what's happening inside, driving through another stop sign there. This started with reckless driving. We do not know if this individual has had previous interactions with law enforcement, which may be why they are on the run so aggressively. Reckless driving may only be the beginning of this. It is often, there is more to the story. This person seems pretty desperate to get away in this scenario, and you wonder why they would be so desperate, Rick.
I gotta tell you something. The ABC 7 guy, when contrasted with the Fox team here, shines so bright. Like, they're just saying a bunch of fucking nothing. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. Usually it's a man, not usually a woman during these high-speed pursuits. We don't know why he's running from the police. We don't know if he has outstanding warrants, perhaps, that's making him want to drive away from the police. We also don't know exactly what the motive could have been behind this decision to run away from the police. You know, they're just saying fucking nothing. Like, Jesus Christ. ABC 7 guy's out there, like, giving actual plays. He's out there, like, casting it like it's a League of Legends match. This is low effort, gentlemen. Unbelievable. Like, you need to work on your card shape. Like, take some notes from the ABC 7 guy. Take a page out of his playbook. He knows what he's talking about. The statement this guy literally made is, wait, oh, you know, why don't I just let him say it one more time?
This person seems pretty desperate to get away in this scenario, and you wonder why they would be so desperate, Rick.
Yeah.
You don't fucking say. They're pretty desperate to get away. The guy in the high-speed pursuit, color me shocked. And yeah, I could only venture a guess as to why he would be desperate to get away from the police after committing a crime and facing years upon years of jail time. I don't know why he would even consider running away here, or what he's doing. I don't know what. It's all such a mystery. Thanks for the 10 gift subs. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the generosity.
And I'll tell you what, this residential area near those 2 major freeways, butting up against those freeways, sometimes there are not throughways. There's cul-de-sacs and what have you, dead ends, and we'll see if that is the case here. But I'm looking here
Thanks to Tier 1 Sway.
you can see the streets I'm talking about right there, sort of winding around the freeway there.
Yeah, these are some
without
wavy
an outlet.
streets.
There's the freeway. And we'll see now if they might be able to box him just because of that. A clearly illuminated Chrysler minivan here being pursued. And it did appear, from my vantage point, I can't tell if you saw, Marla and Alex, that the driver's side rear view mirror was sort of dangling there. Perhaps as some damage to that
thank you for the
side
25
of the
gift
vehicle.
subs, June.
Definitely saw the LA County
Thank you
Sheriff's
so much for
Department
that. Appreciate the big drop.
spike strip, but it appeared
Thank you, June.
that the driver being pursued here, as you can see, just winding its way in a circle here, this suspect, because of the fact that there is no outlet here.
All right.
Yeah, we often, when we cover these pursuits, talk about the
There
routes.
we go, boxing him in.
The routes that
That's
these
not
suspects
what
choose
they
to
were
take. A lot of
doing,
times
Rick.
They like to be in an area that they're familiar with. But here,
That wasn't a boxing, Rick.
seem that this suspect
The
is
pedestrians are doing a better job boxing him in.
And he's gonna, whoa, he almost let him through, skimmed that box truck there. A lot of people on the corner, they're out to watch this, but that is exactly.
Oh wait, were those cop cars? Oh, they are. They just don't have their lights on.
Freeway system there.
I thought those were just like normal neighbors.
Through the city of Industry, through Whittier, near Rose Hills, there aren't any outlets in this residential area here, and this driver being pursued here by the LA County Sheriff's Department, picking up speeds here, was not able to make their way out. Yeah, looks like we're going to
Oh!
right here.
An early pit. Oh.
Not a lot of room, and
Yeah.
we saw the pedestrians out there as well. Here he goes, maybe giving it a try.
Yeah, no, this is a bad spot to do that in.
Yeah,
This would be an odd choice of places to do it.
Exactly what I was going to say. This just isn't
He must have had stream up. He's like, here it comes. Are they excited? Oh, fuck, he's still gonna do it.
Not good if you're not that other driver there.
Oh, wait, this is the end.
Boxing him in, and now this is a dangerous situation. Facing the suspect there. Is he still armed? Did he throw those two firearms out? Is he giving up?
Go in reverse?
No, he's not gonna go in reverse. No shot.
Guns drawn, giving him or her
Okay.
direct command.
This was a very short one.
And it appears we can see his hands side badly damaging one car, perhaps a couple of cars hit by that pursuit. Termination.
Thanks to resub J in banana. I'd be mad if I was living there. Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously. There's a bit snert in Tori. I did hear about it, Tori. Vaguely, though. There's the Prime Mortal. Does this just happen every day in Los Angeles? Recently, yes. Historically, I don't know. But actually, almost every single day there's a high-speed police chase. I don't know if they've just recently started streaming them, and they've always happened, or if they're just picking up in frequency. I don't know. Thanks to resub lowbrow. Happen pretty regularly. That's what chat seems to be saying, that this does happen just very often and always has. And I'm not surprised. It's so densely populated. It's just bound to have this kind of crime be kind of rampant. Also, as I understand it, they're pretty light on crime. Like in treatment of criminals. Though I don't know too much about it. That's just what I hear. Just not for guns. Oh, is that like the major one that they don't take lightly? I mean, that sounds about right. Yeah, maybe that is the plan, Tori. I live in San Diego. They have like 30 police car. They have like 30 police cars chase someone who stole bread. Nice. Keeps it exciting, I guess. They aren't that light on crime. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. That's just what I always hear. That in New York usually gets cited for being very light and soft on crime. Is that right, Tori? Oof. They literally aren't. That's just propaganda for you. Like I said, I don't know about the claims. That's just what I've heard. But there is an overwhelming amount of LA broadcasted crime. A lot. But it is very densely populated, so it could just be purely a numbers game. How is that a take? That's... The word take has lost all fucking meaning. Like, actual all meaning. That's not a take. It was a statement and posed a question to the people that would know better than me. Because I don't live in the two areas that are constantly stated as being soft on crime. Like, that's not a take. I'm not knowledgeable there, thus getting the knowledge from people who are, that live there. It's how learning happens. Makes a bit snert. And the resub fees. And the resub 7. Did you watch last week's Inside Edition spotlight on the Waffle House brawls? Oh yeah, I did. I don't know if I finished it, but I did. Thanks for the resub, Woody. I'm big into the Waffle House fight scene. Thanks for the resub, Evwy. Gotcha, Tori. That makes sense. Thanks for the resub, Jack and the Bits Dowland. Do I know the sport gurning? Yeah, it's where you make the goofy face. The whole sport is about just contorting your face. Of course I've seen that, Snert. That's a classic. Thanks to the Bits Ghost. It's a little local competition. Have you heard of the... Yeah. I saw all that drama. Thanks to the resub, Danny Phantom. Thanks to 5 gift subs. Holv. What happened to all the chess drama? Kind of at a standstill. There hasn't been like a massive development recently. Nothing too crazy. You think the government's just now shooting down the balloons to cover up the train thing in Ohio? I don't know. The first one they shot down was before the train, though. And if that is the play, they're doing a terrible job of it. The SEC has charged Do Kwon with fraud. Isn't he still on the run? What are they going to charge? His fucking ghost? That guy's been, like, vanished for the last 6 months. You see, there was a leak of toxic gas on a highway in Arizona. It was nitric acid, yeah. Of course I saw that.
Take a look at this tweet. This is from the Tucson Fire Department. They posted this photo saying that Tucson fire hazmat teams working with our partners at Arizona DPS to control the hazmat and brush fire incidents there at that intersection. Continue to avoid the area. The I-10 will remain closed for an extended period. Not entirely sure what that...
It was planned.
Weirdly colored
it's a weird plan.
Emanating from
I don't see who it benefits.
Is. Hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about this later on, but this is definitely something you don't see every day. The portion of the I-10 there closed in both directions today due to a crash and a hazmat spill. So Arizona Department of Public Safety said the closure was, quote, extensive. They're urging motorists to avoid the area. This is in Pima County. Officials there telling
That's true,
Fox
Tori. I agree. That probably will happen.
Was nitric acid. An alert directed everyone within a mile radius of the spill to shelter in place. And you just saw that tweet from the Tucson Fire Department. They're on the scene, assisting other agencies with the cleanup effort. And there was no really, I guess, timetable for when the road, when the highway.
Got an extreme alert on my phone when this happened, saying to shelter.
Nitric acid is a highly corrosive chemical. It's used in manufacturing and fertilizer, and several areas in the vicinity have been evacuated. So we're going to stay on top of this story. This happening in Tucson, Arizona.
It is wild. A lot of big leaks here. Thought it was colorless. What, nitric acid? Yeah, I don't know enough about it to tell you. Oh, for sure, Wes. The fumes are nitrogen dioxide. How harmful is nitric acid if you inhale it? I don't know, let's look it up. There, how about that? We'll just do it like that. Exposure to nitric acid can cause irritation to the eyes, skin, mucous membranes, and cause delayed pulmonary edema, pneumatitis, bronchitis, and dental erosion. Because it's highly corrosive, workers may be harmed from exposure to nitric acid. Well, at the very least, it's not going to, like, instantly kill you if you inhale it. So that's something. That's good, at least. But it will fuck you up. A hazardous material train derailment happened in Michigan too, but I guess the only thing that was spilled was liquid chlorine. Man, this is like the movie Knock at the Cabin. Except with planes falling, except instead of planes falling out of the sky, it's trains derailing everywhere. Christ. There's a resub DN in the Prime Chilled. Maybe just transport like super dangerous materials in something other than a train, because all the infrastructure is so fucking old. All of it's just gonna break down, derail, fuck up, explode. Just literally anything else. And they're never gonna update that infrastructure either. Those railways are always gonna be shit. True, Aaron. That is a crossover. And no, I haven't seen those, Snert. No one wants to pay to fix / repair it. Yeah, sounds about right. Exit Prime Macho. Whew. There have been 27,000 train derailments since 1993. They're common. And it doesn't help that Oh, I see. So they've been extremely common, but now safety protocols have been removed, so it's getting even worse. Gotcha. Exit Tier 1 unforeseen. I don't know, Sylvia. I saw a lot of things saying it was real and a lot of things saying it was fake, so we'll have to wait and see. It's due to the precision scheduling railroading. Oh yeah, where they only have like 90 seconds to inspect cars and couplings and whatever. No, I didn't see that whack. Did you see Overwatch 2 dating sim? There's like 1 million of those. No, they made a new one for Valentine's Day. It's the official one. That sounds super cringe. That sounds awful. Great for the community that loves Overwatch porn, though, I guess. He's a prime pickle. Have you seen the X-Men series? What? Oh. It's like a YouTube series, gotcha. Things a bit snert. He's the resub Flacco. No, you didn't give me one, Bob. I'll have to ask. What's the edgiest game ever made? Hatred? I mean, that's just like the factually correct answer. That's this fucking game. This is the game where it's literally just about like mass shootings of like schools, children, whatever. The whole thing is just meant to be as edgy as possible. It's pretty cringe. But that's definitely the edgiest game ever made. The whole idea was to be as edgy as possible. He's a prime janky. Does it take itself seriously? Yeah, it does. Which is even more cringe. In the fucking trailer, I don't think I can play the trailer since it's a banned game on Twitch and pretty much everywhere else. The trailer itself was so embarrassing to listen to. It was like a 15-year-old that just started reading like some unhinged posts on like Reddit or something. One of the lines was something like, "This world is full of vermin and gluttonous eaters, and I'm tired of it. I want to die, but I want to die killing others." It's so stupid. That was the whole idea. They themselves came out and said they just wanted to make a real edgy game about school shootings and mass shooters. Who made that game, actually? What was the studio? I can't remember. Destructive Creations. What other games have they made? They've made Ancestors Legacy After Hatred, which is a real-time strategy game influenced by historical events in the Middle Ages. And then another game called Space Raiders in Space, which is an old, like, 8-bit roguelite, I think. It was top-down, too. For Hatred, yeah, it was a top-down shooter. I don't think the Netflix stock is starting to freefall unless that just started happening. Yeah, I mean, well, 2%'s not nothing. It's not like a free fall yet. It's more of like a steady plummet. Check the 5-day. Well, I know the 5-day. They had this weird thing happen. I don't exactly know what that's attributed to. But yeah, they haven't been doing great, but they're not in a free fall either. Netflix still doing their password restriction in Canada. Yeah. That is live in, I think, just one area of Canada at the moment. But it's going to all of Canada pretty soon, I believe. Huh. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm getting tired. Alright, thanks for tuning in. New subs, welcome aboard. Sub means a lot. Thanks for subbing. Enjoy those emotes. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to toss you over to Aaron. He's campaigning for Summit. So if you've got some votes laying around on Start GG or like Summit merch or whatever, you have votes, use them on Aaron so you can make it into Summit. Thanks again, everyone. I will see you tomorrow.